show here for you. Dennis and Adam joke about orgasms and sweet movie reviews. We talk about TV too, right?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah! Movie toast.
Hey, what's up, Toasties? Looks like it's a solo episode. Oh, shit!
Oh! Episode 241. I'm coming in late, baby. How's it going, Dennis?
Better late than never, sir. Glad to have you here. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I can't complain. I can't complain. I got over being sick. I had one fucking cavity that chipped a tooth a while back, and now it's okay. And like the dentist like it's gonna be like $1,600 to fix. I'm like, all right, I'm saving the money. And then I got another one the other day on the opposite side of my mouth. So I'm just loving that, loving being poor. But
well, we know who to thank for that.
Yeah. All the pib I drink at the movie theater. Dude, speaking of which, I'm pissed. I was at my local AMC yesterday, and like I was going to get my fucking pib extra, and it's like try pib, and I'm like, what? They just have regular pib at like 3 of the machines. Then I went down to my 4th machine, and I'm like, oh, okay, they get pib extra because I swear it's different. But I'm like, why are they switching the game up on me? That's my life source.
I know we've discussed it on the show before, but truly. Can you describe a side-by-side comparison? What is the key difference?
All right, here's the thing.
And extra.
I'm basing this off of the one can of pib I had on the cruise a couple of months ago. It tasted like flat, no-name soda, opposed to a rich, crisp taste. But I hear maybe it was just the can I had. Maybe. So I'm hoping once AMC
bolder.
Yeah, because the can, I felt like I was like, oh, fine, I'm finally trying fucking pib regular, whatever they call it. And then I drank it. I'm like, oh, this tastes like Shasta Light or something. I don't know. It doesn't taste like pib to me. Like it didn't have some quality, but I'm hoping that's like just the can I had. And AMC will teach me how to like pib like a good little bitch. But I don't know. Yeah, but the good thing is I keep saying I got to stop drinking soda when I go to the movies, so this could be the defining factor. So maybe I won't have as many cavities.
Yeah, on your journey. There you go. Okay.
Yeah. But how about you? Anything exciting, new, fun, different? Before we talk about everything in the post-credit scene.
I think. Oh, God damn it!
I know where you were going.
You read my fucking mind, sir.
Want to tease the Toasties to stick around after the fucking closing credits theme song?
I think if it's what I think it is, there might be a certain comic book hero that has had a revitalization recently. That would be fun to discuss. Maybe that's not what you.
I want to hear about it because I haven't had a chance to dip my toes into it. But also, we could talk about some comic villains that just came to an end.
Yes.
After. I got both those on the old rundown.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, then I am fucking.
It's almost like now. The post, it's like it's just like a segment, and it's like, why am I figuring this out? It should be off the fly, but I'm like, I need to have a few things to dip our toes in. Either way, sorry, I'm gonna stop rambling. It's 4 minutes of my bullshit.
All 10 toes are dipped. It's okay, you're in everything. So
fair enough.
We got it.
But yeah, let's start this bitch off with the little thing we like to call a news.
Gather round, folks, it's time for the scoop. Tune your ears in, let's join the loop.
What you got in the loop for us there?
All right. IMAX is currently up for sale, and the company is valued somewhere between 2.4 and 2.8 billion. And the 4 front runners to buy the company include Disney, Sony, Netflix, and Apple. I don't know. How do you feel about we think of IMAX as being all right? It's a cinema, but it's like they're also cameras. They're developing different stocks. I don't know. Is there anybody out of those 4 that you might?
Not for a second.
Want to see take over?
I kind of don't trust any of them because I don't want them to pocket that capability to just one studio. And
we're going to lose so much.
Abused and I don't want to see here's Netflix on IMAX. No. It's not. Don't pretend to give me that at home and convince people this is what IMAX is. Yeah, like how they do it on Disney Plus. They're like, hey, you can watch this movie in IMAX. I'm like, in what world am I getting an IMAX experience watching this at home? I get the concept of showing more of the frame and letterboxing it. And I don't mind then scooting up closer to my TV. But don't try to fool the people who may not be aware of what that actually means into thinking they are actually getting more than they really are. True. And I think that is, at the end of the day, that's the part that scares me the most is don't start selling fucking snake oil now. Yeah. And there is a key difference. Please be aware of that, people. I'm sure our listeners are well aware of these sorts of changes, but the general public, I think it's the general consumer masses, this could get really dangerous. And that worries me. I think it staying sort of a third-party entity was always kind of a good thing. It made everyone else strive for that. Do I want to pay for those cameras? Do I want to pay for that film stock? And when you hear we shot specifically for IMAX, it's that means something. And now it's we just shot an IMAX because we're Disney. It's that. We stretched that frame out to IMAX. We don't give a shit. Whatever. And the parameters, hearing Christopher Nolan talk about the Odyssey, they shot it all in IMAX, so that limited how much and how long the movie can be. He found out that he can only do just slightly under 3 hours to have the movie not be distorted and whatnot. I don't know how that works, but it's that's kind of cool. You got to work around that's interesting. But it's how you build your sets in your frame. It goes go along with that because you're seeing so much more of the world. You don't have the safety zone you would normally have is not there. It's you got to build not just the scene, but the world. Your lockup's got to be fucking airtight. There's not you show one fucking PA holding off people. It's game over. One cup of Starbucks. Done. Yeah. Learn a lesson here, HBO. But it's interesting that they're let's sell because I think they just had one of their best years last year. So it's I get out while the going's good, but no, I get it. I get it from a business stance, but just from a consumer side, it's scary. I appreciate that's worrisome. So I hope whoever takes it over, if one of those 4 take it, please be respectful of us. All right, who am I kidding? No, they're not. But I feel the only company here that I kind of could hope for would be Apple because they're always making new innovations and whatnot. So it's they get technology, but it's they get technology, but they're also not very good about sharing technology. Exactly. They like to lock it into their own stuff. I'm because I get what you're saying. They have so much respect for the art form and the completed project, what you end up getting. But they're also probably out of that list the worst about keeping technology specific capability to themselves and not communicating that with other. And nickel and diming you, and specifically, you gotta have this item. You gotta come to our fucking people to repair it, or else you void your warranty. And it's are they gonna be you have to come to our stages? You have to use literally our camera that we built for that stage. Is it gonna come down to this such a nitty gritty that you're gonna start turning away people that want to use that, and we're gonna start missing out on things that could eventually be. You know what? Someone needs DMAX format, even big, a percentage bigger each direction on the frame, and now it's a different thing. You're right. You're 100% right there. So I guess time will tell if they sell. Hopefully they don't, or hopefully I don't. What if Kodak or some other film company comes in? But that would make sense. Yeah, resurrect it alive. Yeah. Yeah.
But film is kind of dying breed, which is the scary part of all this.
It is. It's soon it's going to be just an IMAX photo cell on a digital camera,
Yeah.
If it isn't already.
A viewfinder or like a fucking AI, not AI, but a fucking VR headset.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, let's go into another not so great story, but we got to fill in some minutes here. Anne Hathaway is executive producing a series based on her 2004 fantasy movie Ella Enchanted. Dennis, have you seen Ella Enchanted? Because I haven't.
I think that's one I hadn't. I would get Ella Enchanted mixed up with
the Amy Adams one.
Yeah.
I
hate to admit
they're interchangeable in my book. I think.
Ooh, okay.
I think it's about like a princess. When I was reading the article, I think it's about like a princess whose parents die and she has to go to school and she falls in love with the prince and she realizes I don't know. It just didn't seem interesting to me.
Is that the one where she's like doing the inverse, where like she's doing all the Prince Charming stuff?
Maybe. Let's look. Ella Enchanted, 2004.
Let's Google it live on the air.
As a baby, Ella receives a visit from Lucinda, Vivica A. Fox, her fairy godmother, and is bestowed with the magical talent that requires her to obey anything that she is told to do. This proves to be more of a curse than a blessing, particularly once her mother dies and she's forced to live with her cruel dame Olga. Eventually, Ella embarks on a journey to find Lucinda and break the spell, accompanied by a handsome prince. I guess I could see how that would be.
Remember this?
Make a TV show.
Yeah. You could stretch the story out over an arc and really play out all those moments.
Yeah.
Why not? I suppose. Right? I'm not rushing out to watch this, but I can see the logic for giving it a shot, though.
Like little girls or little kids can be like, yeah, cool, this is cool. Like, I get it. It's not for us, but it's for someone, hopefully.
Yeah.
But you know what might be for us, Dennis? This one's a little more intriguing, I think. Succession star Sarah Snook is set to star in a remake of Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. And it's going to be a limited series, and it's described as a visceral present-day reimagining of Hitchcock's classic set in Alaska with the murder mystery at the center and new characters led by a new female protagonist. It's like, I get it. Birds is kind of creepy. If a flock of hundreds of birds come and attack you, that's kind of cool, I think.
And like I can see,
and there were real birds back then too, being flung at the actors.
Yeah, no, this is actually interesting because for those not aware, but I'm sure a lot of you are, The Birds is a slow burn. That build up, especially it's that classic. The antagonist is built into the title. It's built into the trailer. It's built into all the advertising. You know what it is you're getting ready for. The movie itself even warns you multiple times as it's starting, gives you those little escalations, and as it's starting to ramp up. That could be interesting to see stretched out over the course of a mini series or a series. Right. I would like to see that. I find it interesting that we're jumping then so far away as to go to Alaska, even more isolating. I feel like there's mainly seagulls and crows, but all right, let's see what.
Like, what are we gonna have? Like penguins and shit? That'd be interesting. Like killer penguins.
I think.
Ooh, they can fuck you up.
Penguins are South Pole, I believe.
Oh, yeah. That would probably make sense.
That would be wild, though.
Murder mystery into the mix, and then it's like there could be some real tension.
Right. It's like you could have actual human on human murders occurring when you're trying to determine, like, someone gets smart and thinks they can try to hide it. Like,
but they're stuck in one room, one building. They can't escape because the birds are out there. So it's like danger on danger.
Yeah. I like that murder mystery, like murder dinner party.
Yeah.
We're all stuck in that's fun. No, it's funny for me. Like, this is one of the first horror movies that kind of left me with the scarring impression of I will never unsee the farmer with the eyes plucked out. Like, I saw that way too young, but at the same time, it's like something that struck such a strong chord with me. I love it so much now. It's like now I recognize what got accomplished. I really hope they aim for that.
Yeah.
I want them to aim for it's got to really grab a hold of you then, because the original did. So
true.
High stakes. Yes. High stakes.
So they're shopping it around right now. So hopefully it finds a nice home. Like I could see this being on like HBO or like fucking maybe Peacock or Apple, because they make those three make pretty good series. I feel like
they do.
A little dark.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm kind of excited for that one. I'm happy it's on a movie because I feel like you could do a lot more with like a limited series or a show.
How do you just, if it's a movie, how do you just not make it again? Yeah.
It's gonna be like you got Psycho shot for shot almost.
Right. And then like so you remake the birds, you change it too much. Now it's not the birds. Now I don't want yeah. Series seems like the smartest route. So
agreed. All right. This next one is also sticking to an older movie here we talked about before. FX and Hulu have picked up Very Young Frankenstein to series. It'll star Zach Galifianakis, Dolly Wells, Spencer House, Nikki Crawford, Kumail Nanjiani, and Carrie Ewells. Very Young Frankenstein blends inspiration from the fan favorite movie with the inventive, irrelevant spirit of that and all the other FX comedies over the years, making this a completely original take on a classic story. And I think Taika Waititi and the folks who made What We Do in the Shadows are doing this. And I like that show. I know it wasn't your cup of tea, but
no. Quite the opposite.
Oh, your wife didn't care for it as much.
Yes, I still have to follow through myself, but
apologies.
I was just about to say that is the perfect, I think, team to put together exactly the tone of what reverence Young Frankenstein requires. Very much, very young Frankenstein. So that sounds incredible, and I am very excited for this.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I am not a fan of Young Frankenstein. I love Peter Boyle, I love Gene Wilder, I love Mel Brooks, but I just can't get into that movie. But I feel like this show I could probably get into. I don't know. I just have a weird feeling about
having more time to really digest the relationships and the humor. You can come back and really appreciate a little more than it just everything hitting you once and going away, but getting to really simmer in what the world is for one episode could be. Maybe that's the key difference. Maybe it's even worse than the movie. I don't know.
Hey, time will tell. I just wish Peter Boyle was around and he just some flash forwards. Oh man. All right, let's see. Up next, Paramount has hired the writers behind the Sonic the Hedgehog films to write a film adaptation of the classic Sega beat-em-up series games, Streets of Rage. It'll be directed by James Samuel, who last directed The Harder They Fall for Paramount Plus. Have you ever? I assume you've at one time or another played Streets of Rage or heard of it at least. I imagine.
Yep. Got to play that one a little bit. It was never very good at it, but I did really enjoy the side scroller beat 'em up city games like this, where you're like this and the Ninja Turtles and that's always like the arcade style. You have to move. You got to spam buttons. Yeah.
I like Double Dragon.
Cool. Yeah, Double Dragon. Do you remember Narc?
I don't know. Fuck.
Instead of kind of the same thing.
Ooh, that sounds badass.
Metal, like that's a little more Metal Slug than Streets of Rage at that point, but I digress. That sounds cool.
And
at this point,
then
please.
No. I cut you off. I'll go after. Sorry.
At this point, I feel like we've proven time and time again, even the more action-oriented games can still have a very well-told story, be very appealing visually, have intriguing characters that make me want to keep coming back. Prime example that we both enjoyed, I know for a fact, is Twisted Metal. Yes, there is a lot of story, but we only have all of this story because of like 7 games or whatever the fuck. The show did it in a few episodes. And
it made it its own thing, and then really dove deeper into it on the second season.
Yes,
and still made it its own. It has heart. It's vicious, but it has heart. It has the soul of the game. And that's what I kind of like about this. It seems like they're bringing the people that did Sonic. So it's kind of going to be funny, I assume. But also the director of The Harder They Come, or the Harder They Fall, I think you might have reviewed back in 2021, Jonathan Majors, Idris Elba, Western with Lakeith Stanfield. Was that I forget how your review was of that.
Harder They Fall. Yeah, that was that high concept, very stylized visuals with the music.
Yeah.
It was the Western.
Yeah, I think so.
I liked that a lot. No, that honestly lends itself to what I feel a movie version of this game should. Super over the top. I want to see people getting punched across things, like kind of like the little bit of hope I have for the Street Fighter movie.
Yes,
it would be so much fun to see that week to week on a show like this. So I'm excited.
Sorry, this is actually going to be a feature.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
no, you're good. You're good. I don't think I actually mentioned that. Sorry, my apologies.
That doesn't change anything. I still think it'd be a fun watch.
Yeah.
If it's embraced in that time, end of the day. If you
you got to get the tone right.
I think that would be fun to check out, and you set yourself up for sequels if you do it right. So
agreed. Well, we're not leaving the zone of video games just yet, Dennis. Activision has filed the trademark in Europe under the categories pre-recorded films and animated production services for Crash Bandicoot. The trademark will be valid until 2035. I'm assuming that they're essentially trying to do what Nintendo did with the Super Mario Brothers. Do you think Crash has the legs to kind of lead a PlayStation universe of films?
I think it could be a start. Let's give it a shot. Because what's funny is there's so many other properties that were traditionally associated with Sony and PlayStation that already have got the lead out to then now include this one. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. It makes sense. It's not going to be your flagship. I think God of War here pretty soon is going to be the
true. That's going to hit hard. And like we were just saying, Twisted Metal.
And Yep. It's things that are, but not to disparage Crash, because he's a great character.
Sure.
He's carried the his franchise for a long time, and the platform, really. Because aren't his games normally like platform launch titles?
I think like day one, normally.
It's like that game or Ratchet and Clank. One of those two will probably be up there early.
Sadly, I never saw the Ratchet and Clank movie. Like I feel like I didn't hear anybody ever talk about that.
No, yeah.
I feel like they had one. It didn't Sky Cooper, or it doesn't matter. Sorry,
Sly Cooper. No, that's right.
Sly Cooper. Did he get a movie?
I think they were trying to make.
Oh, we talked about it, maybe.
Yeah, I think that was the story of like it got really far along, and then because the game it had a cult following, but they also never did a whole lot of like HD re-releases or remasters. They didn't do new age sequels like current sequels. So
you're kind of stuck in time. You're not really staying with the modern audience, staying relevant.
Yeah, where I feel like if they were to actually make and release a brand new Bandicoot game now, it probably would have better legs than Sly Cooper. Maybe
that's true.
Ratchet and Clank, but at
not
least
as big. But yeah.
Bandicoot's still got the pedigree, so
fair enough.
I can see that. Yeah. I can see that. I hope
so. I don't know. I've only played a handful of Crash games, but he's a fun character. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see that'd be fun. But
let's see if he's got the apples to survive.
Oh, I like that. All right. Oh, I got to learn how to hit buttons here, Dennis. Emmy winner Emmy winner Quinta Brunson is developing I can't fucking speak right now or read. Well, I never can. Emmy winner Quinta Brunson is developing and set to star in a Betty Boop film. It'll trace the origin and evolution of Betty Boop through the perspective of her creator, Max Fleischer, examining the relationship between the artist and his creation as he navigates and creates a commercial, successful animated icon, one of the biggest icons, particularly as the icon begins to take shape and a life of its own. I feel like I just said a lot of things. I don't know if that made any sense. So it sounds like it might be like a Cool World / Barbie type of movie, like where
right. It's the self-awareness. It's the outside real world exists, so to speak, against the world she's in. I don't know. Betty Boop is an interesting character because I remember growing up with her still being vaguely relevant.
Right.
I had like a Looney Tunes cassette, or like it wasn't Looney Tunes, but a cassette tape that had like 100 kids cartoons, and a bunch of hers were on there, and so I grew up with that familiarity. And you see, not to knock anyone, older generations are very familiar with who she is, and
100%
have that fandom, and that's great. If you were to try to explain that to a child, who is Betty Boop? Tell a kid who Betty Boop is. Like that's
like, at least they know who Bugs Bunny is because he's been relevant throughout childhood, or Mickey Mouse. But Betty Boop came out 100 years ago, and she's just kind of a sexualized woman who it's like
she's in high heels and a cocktail dress, and she's selling you cigars and cigarettes.
She's a flapper. Yeah,
that's the thing I distinctly can hear in my head is cigarette. Like, and I know that's not her whole thing.
Sure. Like I don't really care for Abbott Elementary. I could never get into it, but I hear it's great, and I feel like Quinta has a very specific style of comedy and tone. I think if anybody could pull something interesting like this off, it could be her. But
I am a fan because I don't. I've watched a little bit more of the show, not much, but what you're saying though, yes, I really like that style of humor. Clearly, it's one of those where like you can see those fringe pieces, especially like the Sunny episode. You can see this like, oh, there's way more there that's getting held back. So I'm curious with a new property like this, what would then blossom from that? Because like you said, if you gave it the Barbie treatment, that could be really cool. And then we could be seeing all sorts of Betty Boop like stuff.
Yeah, resurgence. Cartoons, shorts. No, the sky's the limit.
Characters from like this era or a little later, do you think any of them deserve this look again, like Felix the Cat?
Ooh.
Or Woody
yeah. I mean, I know a couple of years ago they made a weird live action CG Woody Woodpecker thing, and I'm like, I don't know how that did. Clearly not well enough, but yeah, I feel like that'd be kind of cool. That, I mean, like we talked a couple episodes ago, Casper's making a resurgence. So maybe it's time for these older like characters to come back into fray. Like, why not? They're properties, and the only way to get kids to know who they are is by trying to bring them into the fold, I guess.
Yeah, reintroduce them again. Yeah.
How about you? Who would you like to see come back?
I remember liking Felix the Cat a lot as a kid. Woody Woodpecker too. But as a serial, you know, like not just a one-off movie with very little context, but that could be fun. Droopy.
Oh, Droopy came to my head a little bit too.
It's like there's one where it's like he's so tongue-in-cheek, especially when you get to like the Tex Avery Droopy. I like that. It would actually work well with a modern audience. Very dry, very sort of dark humor, but you inject it with this like I'm forcing myself to be happy sort of.
Who would you see? Who could you see doing Droopy? I don't know why I'm thinking Zach Galifianakis. Like he just is laid back kind of sarcasm, but or no, maybe what about like what's his face from the Office, the creator of The Office? Why am I blanking on his name? Wow, I suck at this.
Not
the British Office, the real Office.
Not Steven, but
Stephen Merchant could be interesting.
See, I was thinking Bill Hader.
Oh, Bill Hader would be good, but he's the Cat in the Hat now. So, although you can do multiple, Bill Hader would be cool.
That's Dr. Seuss. He could do it. He could be.
That's true. It's a different universe.
Yeah.
Oh man,
yeah. I think there's a lot of valid options.
Yeah.
Really.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, moving on here. Should have been a story after Young Frankenstein, but I didn't plan it out ever as well. A Guide to Recognizing Your Saints director, Dido Montiel, will be directing a Gene Wilde biopic. It'll be written by Jeremy Roth, who is best known for writing both How I Met Your Father and Love, Victor over on Hulu. I feel like, why not? Gene Wilde is an interesting character. People still know him because of the Wonka stuff.
He still
feel about that?
He still has this multi-generational pedigree of interest. I think more than well deserves. In fact, as you said that, I'm like, fuck, is this not a thing already?
That's right? It feels like it should be.
It's not. Yeah. Oh God.
And it sounds like the fans really want Jeremy Allen White to play him. And I'm like, I totally see. I always look at him like he looks like a young Wonka.
Good day, sir. You lose. Yeah, as Blazing Saddles. It would be amazing.
Dude, right?
To see some like behind the scenes, like you have a scene of them on the set of Blazing Saddles. Like, oh my God, that'd be
all great. His Richard Pryor movies. Like, I think of him as Willy Wonka, but he's such a dark and twisted guy, man.
The layers of comedy he operated under, I think most people don't even realize what they were receiving from him. Like, you go back and watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and it's operating on so many levels at once. That's why it transcends literally the fucking candy bar commercial it was meant to be. And it's such an actor's piece, and he breathed so much life into the world, as well as the set design and everything else that and the music, of course. But his character did a bulk of the heavy lifting. Him as an actor did most of the work to bring that thing to life. And it just for that sake alone, I think it'd be interesting, much less the rest of his career.
Like Young Frankenstein, stir crazy, see no evil, hear no evil. The producer, the guy, and he was so prevalent. Even when he was older, he was still out there doing stuff. It's like, and I guess this director actually went and got the rights himself. So it's like, this is a passion project for him. And I feel like that's the type of person that you should get doing these types of movies. Someone who cares and has the earnest knowledge and intimate need to make the story come to life.
For sure. Absolutely. Without a doubt, I'd go and check that out.
For sure. All right, this next one I think I'm definitely going to check out here, Dennis. After Greta Gerwig's Narnia movie was taken off the 2026 release calendar, there was a big gap in that film's Thanksgiving weekend for the IMAX slot. But rest assured, Netflix has dropped another highly anticipated film in its place. That's right, Toasties. David Fincher's The Adventures of Cliff Booth will now be getting a 2-week run in IMAX theaters. How do you feel about this, Dennis? I feel like this is a movie we talked about that should come to theaters, but it was only going to get a streaming platform. Do you think it deserves IMAX? I don't know.
If they prepped for it, I think even if it's just a device to hype up the concept, I think I'm kind of okay with that. I think this effort a streamer is willing to put in to put their films into theaters more often, or at least make it, I don't care, make a big show out of it then. If you're fronting the bill so that we as an audience can just enjoy and experience films on this scale again, and the irony of a Cliff Booth / Once Upon a Time in Hollywood movie being a streaming movie, you have to
that's true.
In the theaters. I really like this idea of like, okay, all right, fucking prove it then. I will check in. I will show up in theaters for this movie without a doubt. We just had a little resurgence of Quentin Tarantino films here at home once they did the whole Bloody Affair.
Yep. That's on Peacock now. Yep.
And then I rewatched Inglourious Bastards and Django Unchained.
Classic. Oh, my favorite.
I just kind of rattled through a few. I'm like, God damn, this is the stuff.
Like every time you watch one, it's like, I need more of this. Give me more fucking Jackie Brown. Give me fucking Pulp Fiction. Give me Reservoir.
That was the next one I was gonna play, and Val's like, no, I haven't seen that one yet. I'm like, that's the reason why.
What a better time to do it, man. Or I guess the best way to do it is to go to a midnight screening at the New Beverly, watch one of Tarantino's prints of his own movie. That's always exciting.
Yes. Oh, that would be great. We got to do that one.
Oh, dude, yeah. But I mean, I'm just so happy to hear, like, when Warner Brothers was going on sale, Ted Sarantos said, we want to make movies theatrical. We want to get in that game. We just haven't had the chance. We're not set up for that. And even though they didn't get Warner Brothers, they're like, hey, this Narnia movie is so good, we're giving it a full theatrical run. Hey, this David Fincher, Quentin Tarantino written Brad Pitt starring movie that we were just going to drop, let's fucking give it to people the way they want to see it. Like, it's like, I'm happy to see now they're starting to actually put their money where their mouth was. And hopefully this means we're getting more and more of their stuff on the big screen.
I think to me, a little bit feels like trying to buy some faith back from their hardcore audience. and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Reinvest in us. That will make me want to reinvest back in you. You know,
true.
That I'm more okay with. Although I know I will see this movie on a streamer I already have in my home.
Sure.
I won't mind spending that money to then go out and see it exhibited.
Exactly. It's like you're double dipping. All right, you're getting our subscription and you're getting our ticket fee, and you know the theaters are going to be packed. So it's like, why not? It's free money. It prints itself.
Along those lines, they used to make more money off the exact same goddamn business model. You go to the movie, you see it in the movie theater, then you got to wait 3 to 6 months.
It.
You get the VHS, the DVD, or the you're right. It used to be.
You got to wait, and not even 3 months. Back in the day, you got to have wait 6 to 8 months for just to rent it on like a PV on demand, and then you got to wait for the VHS to come out. Like there was such a prolonged, but that's back when movies played for a month to 3 months at a time.
You'd be waiting a year or more before you could actually watch it again in your home. I miss that anticipation and that longing for that to come to me.
That's the interesting thing. Obsession. That movie came out. It did okay the first weekend, and then it's been going up. It's been fighting. It's 4 weeks in, and it's like they announced, it's going to stream in a couple of weeks, and now they're like, no, we're extending the run. I went to see it a second time because I saw it a couple of months ago. I just saw it at a 4:45 showing yesterday to a packed house on a fucking Monday.
See? Exactly. That's the shit, man. No, that's what we've been missing. I was assuming this would be one of your news stories. Shut me down if it's about to be. But the resurgence of films like that, and then you have Backrooms, where you have very low budget films, and you have these very earnest, less experienced younger filmmakers who are being given the shot to then send these here, you have a Obsession, which I believe was a $70,000 budget. Yeah,
and I think it's at 123 million right now. It went from I think third place to second place to second place. It's 4 weeks in, and it's still hanging in there and making money.
Obsession, I think, was only a few million, and boom, same thing. It then shot past
Backrooms is killing it,
and that's hopefully this is just proving the point of the fans to the studios. Yes, more of this. Yes,
original content.
Yes,
up and coming people who know how to talk to their type of people. It's young people making movies for young people that then can hit other audience members. It's a no-brainer.
See movies. That's the other key thing too. It's not like it's some lost generation of Instagram shorts and TikToks. No, there are people that still want to see all these things. And
now a new report has shown the younger generation now wants to go to the movies. And I feel like a couple years ago it was, oh no, we don't want, we'll just stream. So now it's coming back into the fold. And like you said, now it's these people who have something so personal they want to tell. Like I heard the guy who did Backrooms. Yeah, he's been doing these shorts for years now, but he had an 80-page Bible that he's been working on for a couple of years before making this movie. And it's that is a level of dedication. Even before he knew he was going to make a movie, he was already putting that work in, hoping one day to do it.
Yeah, that's the level of passion I feel like we've been lacking of far too frequently in the TV and film industry, that it's so refreshing to hear that. I still have to see those films myself, but I'm very much looking forward to it. And
last Thursday, I went with my buddy Eddie. We went to Alamo Draft House to see Backrooms, and I had a long work week, so I was passing out a little bit here and there. But I was paying attention to the movie, and it was good. I wanted to review it today, but I'm I want to give it another watch so I can give it its fair due. And I saw another movie yesterday that was amazing that comes out next week. So I'm hopefully there's going to be a review on our YouTube page for Backrooms. But I was so pissed that Sarah and I were out of town this weekend because our drive-in had a double feature of Backrooms and fucking Obsession. And I'm that would have been perfect to go see.
Oh man. Nice.
But so I'm hoping you get to check those out. Honestly, Obsession, even like I said, it's lived with me since I saw it back in March. And it equally as good and still hit. And being in an audience where these shocking twists and turns and fucked up things. It was like heaven being like here, because I'm like, I know this is coming. I know this, and then it's like hearing the people react. I'm like, oh, this is music to my. That's how a movie should be seen, folks, in a theater with more people.
Absolutely.
But I get it's pricey. It's hard to get out sometimes.
I will comment more on that later when it comes to a certain review I believe we both have coming up.
Yes. There's a lot we're digging in for that.
It's tied in. Yeah, it's very what we're discussing now is very much tied into a review later, and yeah. All
right. Well, let's move on to this next story. We're almost done with the news here, folks. Sorry. A lot of fun stuff to talk about. Drive director Nicholas Winding Refn has chosen his next project. I'm sorry, I know I said his name wrong because I'm illiterate. He'll be remaking William Lustig's 80s classic Maniac Cop. Refn actually has been toying around with the property for almost a decade now. Back in 2019, he was developing a Maniac Cop series for HBO. And here's what the logline for the series was. Set in Los Angeles, told through a kaleidoscope of characters from cop to common criminal, a killer in uniform has uncaged mayhem upon the streets. Paranoia leads to social disorder as a city. They're restless with the mystery of who the exterminator in blue is. Is he mere mortal or is he a supernatural force? Now, that was the premise of what the show was going to be. Nobody knows if that's going to be the premise of the movie, but I know the original movies were fucked up and crazy, so this is a director who makes very distinct, intense films. I'm excited to see what he does with this property. Yeah. What is your relationship with Maniac Cop? Have you fucked with him?
I hate to admit I haven't watched the original. It was one of those where I distinctly remember early on when Peacock launched, this was in their library and I had it on my watch list. And it was one of those every time either I didn't have the time to watch it myself, or
fair enough,
I was excited to see it, and maybe not everyone present wanted to watch it. But I love this concept of this almost zombified, vengeful cop spirit that's just you break the slightest, most minuscule law, punishable by death. And it's taking a symbol you should be cheering on and then turning it on its head. And now it's how do you turn the city against not the whole concept, but just this individual? And now we got to decide whether or not it's instilling fear when you see the uniform walking up. Is it someone you can trust, or is it the Maniac Cop? I love that. That's cool.
Such a movie of its time, and it's and you have two policemen played by Tom Atkins and Bruce Campbell hunting him down. So it's you're in good hands. Sam Raimi's in here. It's this is it's been so long since I've seen it. It's on Prime Video. I think I might have to check it out in a couple of days again.
I might watch it too then.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But it's could you imagine, I know you haven't seen it and that makes sense, but that what you were describing, the craziness of that, but in a modern day landscape with a director who pushes boundaries,
that could be really brutal. I like this because now you have this whole concept of the way modern technology interacts with our world. You could have a living cop's body cam.
That's true.
Capturing, yeah. Oh shit! This this guy in blue, he's getting shot at. What they don't realize is he's been chasing after them, ripping him limb from limb. That's why they're turning back and shooting at this cop. So they may try to come to the aid, only to find out this guy's
they're in danger now.
Too. Yeah, I like this misdirection. I don't know,
and especially I know right now
is a little rough, but I'm here.
But right now, with cops being kind of some cops, the people don't look at cops the way they used to look at cops. So it could be a message about society today. On top of all that,
yep, it's you could there are those individuals who adopted the symbol of the Punisher too close to heart. You're missing the point of who that character was. I think this is an interesting way of turning that imagery on its head. Well, what happens if someone takes that concept and commits too hard to it, that now you are actively rooting against that individual?
Right.
There may be
true.
Something like that. And it's where are the lines and the checks and balances? I think this is an interesting way to explore that concept without you feeling like we're shitting on something real. You know?
Yeah.
It's a monster in a monster movie, essentially. But
100%.
Makes you consider certain topics that I think are, as you said, very prevalent to society right now.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that this movie comes out within the next 2 years and we can review it on the show, man. It'd be fun.
I'd be excited.
Right? And this next one I'm also looking forward to here, man. On the heels of the 9th season premiere of Rick and Morty, word is Warner Brothers is in early development of a Rick and Morty movie, and it will be directed by Jacob Hare, who has directed 27 episodes of the series thus far. How do you feel about a Rick and Morty movie?
Interesting concept. I drove by the Warner Brothers lot yesterday, and there is a unique billboard on the side of it currently that does show Rick and Morty drawn in a completely different art style.
Is it the anime one or?
It didn't. It didn't strike me as anime. Typically.
Okay, that's cool.
So it'd be interesting if this was like a little tease of this. Obviously, it'd be very early to announce that, but.
Hey, it's never too early.
It just caught me off guard. I'm like, well, that's not what I'm used to seeing, but okay.
Yeah.
That could be cool. It survived so well, given its tumultuous past. The audience is still coming back for it, and the voice, I believe, is still the voice of the show is still there.
Yeah. So, and they're getting a spinoff coming soon, and it's like, and there's another spinoff. They got a bunch of comic books, they got mangas, it's just a Rick and Morty world, man. Everyone knows Rick and Morty. I feel like even old, young. It's kind of like a modern day South Park.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not to say South Park is in modern day, but back when we were kids, South Park was like a taboo.
How terrifying is that statement you just made, though? That's
very real. 30 years ago, yeah.
Oh man.
But that's what excites me about a movie, because the show does homages to movies. It does weird non sequiturs. It just does whatever the fuck it wants. So a movie to spend over 90 minutes in this world opposed to like 24 minutes, the runway is just, you're off to the races after, I don't know. I'm intrigued. Dan Harmon, I'd love to see what he does with it. But I want another thing based on a cartoon that I want to see what's going to happen here. Scooper Daniel Richmond claims that Disney is in talks with Will Ferrell to star in a live-action Inspector Gadget film, and the remake will be directed by Hot Tub Time Machine and Daddy's Home director Sean Anders. How do you feel about a new Inspector Gadget and B, Will Ferrell as Inspector Gadget?
Oh, I just assumed he'd be Penny.
Not Claw?
No, yeah. I forget what's the dog's name?
Fuck. Yeah. I love that dog.
That's cool though. No, I there's a property that, grew up watching, and I made an Inspector Gadget reference earlier today, in fact.
Oh.
So, thankfully the person I made it to understood exactly what I was trying to say. But yeah, no, that's fun. I think that's one that honestly never truly goes away.
True. There's always like new incarnations, like CG versions now, and
it also doesn't take much to elevate the character to a more modern setting while still retaining the tone. At the end of the day, he's an android. You just change 100%. What the shit is that comes out of him, but he can still be the bumbling inept Mr. Magoo like inspector. His supporting ancillary characters are the ones that really solve the crime, where you still have your overarching villain who's more than capable of defeating him, but he's still so hung up on the dum-dum that's besting him out front.
Yeah.
And it's great. I think all the elements still apply to a modern audience. You just got to make it a little bit more relevant so kids want to invest into it too.
True.
That's all. I don't think that's.
And I feel like Will Ferrell has the goofiness to be that bumbling kind of guy with a heart of gold. Yeah. I'm intrigued. I hope this one comes to fruition, whether it's Will Ferrell or not. But I mean, with the director too, it's someone Will's worked with a handful of times, so it's like they get that rapport, so that makes sense.
Exactly, and that's a lot of the key thing. And like I was saying, I think it could be a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, he's not the one solving the cases anyway, so it's going to be.
Oh, Major Tom to Ground Control is saying Tom Hiddleston could make a good Gadget. That'd be interesting. I'd like to see him as Gadget.
I could see, yeah. That's an interesting suggestion.
Yeah, especially since he doesn't get to be a goofy character like that often. I feel like that could be a nice departure from what I'm used to seeing him do.
So another British actor, I think only because I just recently rewatched Multiverse of Madness, but Benedict Cumberbatch, I think, could handle the comedic layer while like trying to play it straight.
Yeah,
bumbling beneath what he's trying to accomplish as he's like getting undercut by his own actions or even his own gadgets. I could see him carrying that too, but that's just a random left field shout out there. But
for sure,
no, I think there's definitely a lot of folks I think that could hit Helmet well, but as far as who could communicate as well with this creator, that's the key thing. You want that environment to be as succinct as it could.
For sure. But so yeah, they're just in early talks now. It's rumors, but I bet we're in a couple of weeks we'll be hearing a little bit more about this. And I'd love to dive deeper into other casting. But this next one, I'm interested to hear your take on here, man. In collaboration with Mario Puzo Estate, bestseller author Andrea Trigani has written an upcoming Godfather follow-up called Connie. The novel set to release in 2027. And of course, Paramount Plus has greenlit a feature film adaptation. So essentially, we're going to be watching Connie, Don Vito's daughter, essentially her point of view and how she's proving everyone wrong, forging her own way into a world that's put her into a box, and just how people have kind of underestimated her father or Michael, and how that did not fare well for him. It's going to be Connie's point of view and being a badass. I'm not going to lie, I am not a fan of The Godfather. I don't like him. I think they're boring. I got to rewatch them. But how do you feel? Are you a Godfather fan?
I feel a little put on the spot because I have not watched all of them. So
okay, all right. So it's not just me. All right.
I don't have a whole.
Sorry.
No, I don't have enough to say. I think
yeah. But how do you feel about all these years later coming back?
That seems
doing a fourth.
Like it's not. This is not the only property that I've heard little bits and pieces of, like trying to continue stories without like. We're not really doing anything. We're gonna keep going down the line. I don't know. I think at the end of the day, there's always going to be a fandom for this. I was just looking at D&D books, and there's a fucking tabletop campaign that's Godfather. So there's never gonna not be someone who wants to see something out of this. But world.
It's just such a classic trilogy. Like everyone loves 1, 2. I guess 3 sucks. I've heard, but I mean, it could be interesting if this is redemption. And it'd be intriguing because, of course, the director of the trilogy doesn't want to come back. He's so old, but his daughter's a director now, and she was in the 3rd movie, and she got a lot of flack. Do you think she could come in and take over and be like, yeah, I might not have been the best part of 3, but I'm making up for it by directing a badass 4th entry?
I would hope so. Again, I don't. I'm sorry. Obviously the experience is there. It's in the bloodline. It's in the family.
Yeah.
That perspective may offer something unique to land on the screen, given she literally, like, the artist has come up in the world, in the environment that the films are created in. So maybe they have some other insight that would be reflected onto the screen, into the story, that could be interesting for a character like this. And I am not going to turn away the concept of something that was essentially an entirely male-driven storyline and giving it a female perspective in a beloved franchise, especially from someone within the creation of that franchise. You really can't get much further away from the heart and soul of what the films were. That could be interesting. But again, I'm only speaking of the little bits I've seen of the first film. And that's it. It's not for lack of it's not because I didn't like it.
No, for sure.
I actually did like what I saw. I don't know. I'm a victim of my own ADD. So I easily
and I'm not going to
10,000 things. So,
and I'm saying I find it boring. Last time I attempted to watch was in 2001 when I was probably like 10 or 11. So it's like, back it's like if I were to watch it now, I probably might have a little more respect. I will say I did watch the Paramount Plus making of docudrama The Offer, and I love that. That was phenomenal.
I remember you saying that. Yeah, that sounded good.
So I don't know. Maybe I got to give the Godfather trilogy another chance, and maybe I might love it.
It could be, it could be one of those things that just comes with age, you know.
Yeah. Let's see here. All right. So this next one, I think both of us can get behind here, man. Zack Snyder is set to write and direct a remake of the cult classic Escape from New York. I don't know. How do you feel?
No.
All right.
No,
fair
I'm
enough.
like, fuck, man. There's so many.
Why do it?
Yes. It's not.
Now I could see if Carpenter did a third one. If he did a trilogy and they brought back Snake himself, or I don't know, passing of the torch, Snake's son.
I feel maybe the son thing could be cliche. It doesn't mean I wouldn't show up for it. But
I'm just saying because the actor's son's is a pretty good actor. But I would love to watch an older Snake.
No, but wouldn't it? But
trying to survive.
Wouldn't it be funny to turn it on its head and like you have oh my god, what's his son's name now? I can't think of.
I was gonna say Jack, not Jack Quaid.
He's great too, but not for this movie.
Yeah, I love how names are just like going past me. Wyatt Russell.
Wyatt, yes. Wouldn't it be funny if they set it up like that and then Wyatt dies in like the first 10 minutes?
Oh, that'd be an interesting twist.
And then he's like,
and that's why Snake needs to do it. Yeah,
it's a revenge story, and it's an elderly Snake Plissken just fucking ripping out throats, and oh my god,
dude.
Like, see, now that I would be on board for it, but to redo it, no, I still think Escape from New York is still so good.
Yeah,
I still love. I like revisiting that one like every other year or so, and it has that John Carpenter stank on it that I love so
cheesy
much.
And dumb, but it works perfectly.
It commits wholeheartedly to the world it's in. You know, that's something that I don't think enough films do. It's like the oh god, the first the Nazi killer guy. One with the guy digging for gold that just
yeah.
Oh my god, why I'm blanking and never talking about forgetting names.
Major Tom from Ground Control threw out an interesting one here. What if Robert Eggers did it? Like, you know how he does all these gritty, dark things?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like a different type, but I feel like that's a different that's a little more horror, but it's an interesting take on it. But
I like the funky sci-fi horror background. You know, like
it'd be interesting to hear his take on that.
Yes, yeah. I like interesting though. Interesting.
But and like Zack Snyder doing it is odd choice to me. I think. Like, if anything, I could see Rodriguez coming in. I feel like he has that type of. Or
didn't Snyder do Army of the Dead?
Yeah, that's true.
That worked. Like, I think that tone.
I loved Army of the Dead
pretty well with what we're talking about here. But if they're, I don't know. It's one of those like beloved cult films, especially from the Carpenter camp. I think that's where I'm apprehensive out the gate.
Yeah. Especially since it's kind of like a toxic fandom that he has going over there these past couple of movies.
Yeah. This is true.
But
I don't know. I feel like I think I almost need to hear a little more before I'm fully sold on whatever that concept might be. Because I still go back and rewatch that one. And I don't I'm not asking for it to be updated or changed or whatever.
If I recall correctly, the sequel wasn't that Escape from Los Angeles?
Escape from LA, yeah.
That one was not as good.
No,
if I recall.
He had to surf into his drop. He surfed in to LA.
Yeah, that was kind of fun.
But the first one had a basketball match, like a basketball secret. Or was it Escape from LA? Where it was like basketball to the death.
I feel like you'd have that in New York. I feel like God, I don't know. It's been a while.
That alone tells you enough about the movie.
Yeah.
But this is what I like about it, and it's I want that layer of fucking Velveeta slathered across everything. Well, the stakes being up here, you know, it's not What?
Yeah. All right. Well, this next one, one more story here that could go in a good way or a bad way. Let's see. It's been confirmed that Simon Kinberg's new Star Wars trilogy is actually going to be episodes 10, 11, and 12. Not only that, but it will be a continuation of the Skywalker saga. I don't know. I don't know if we need a continuation right now, but I feel like it makes sense, I guess. I just don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
Simon Kinberg's the man for this.
I was already hyped for a whole lot of other things.
Yeah.
That I'm very accepting of it not being more Skywalker, which again, it's not like I dislike Rey, but
true. She's not an actual Skywalker,
but
she just took the name.
My problem is more: are you just going to take the post-Republic Legends stories and try to mold them around the story you've already made? And it doesn't work anymore. It honestly just does not fucking work anymore. Are you going to stretch Thrawn out somehow to now be a character he wasn't? Are you going to give us a bunch of like Mara Jade doesn't exist? Are you going to try to give us some version of Mara Jade? Like shoehorn her in there, even though she was never represented throughout the films. She somehow surpassed living past Luke Skywalker. I don't know, man. Like,
yeah,
I very long ago accepted not having any more Skywalker stories,
which is fine.
Say no, but I'm also going to be a little like, all right.
You know what I was thinking today? Sorry, this is unrelated to this story in particular, but the whole rumor of Starfighter is Gosling's taking a Force-sensitive kid to safety, and supposedly it's going to be Rey in her new Jedi Academy. But we don't fully know. We don't know when this takes place. Yeah. What if the twist is he's really taking it to a Jedi Academy, but it's Luke's Jedi Academy before the whole Kylo Ren situation, and we're getting that fucking Luke that we wanted? Or do you think that would be too risky and would fuck up continuity
cast someone?
I mean, it worked. Yeah.
That's fine.
Like, I'm not saying do the CG character like we had in Mandalorian.
Sure. No. I agree with you. I would be okay with that as long as like the bulk of the movie is then seeing this other outside perspective. Other people might be tired of the Star Wars universe. I'm sure fucking not. And as long as we're addressing it in a way where I can still be entertained and I'm having fun watching what I'm watching, then so be it. Then I'm going to keep coming back and watching what I'm having fun with. If I'm not having fun anymore, then I will stop watching it. It's that simple. I've done it with certain corners of the universe.
Makes sense.
They don't make that anymore, so I would be okay with that as long as you spend the bulk of your time telling this.
Yeah, like I'm just saying, like that would be if that was the very end of the movie. It's like, oh fuck, like, and then that leaves. Now it's like, now we can go and do more stuff with Luke and whatnot, and I wouldn't be concerned with that at all, especially now that we've incorporated a lot of like the animated series characters, the other little bits of the expanded universe that we've canonized. If they can be brought out to the forefront and we can enjoy their stories too, there's so much more we can explore. You can call it the Skywalker saga. That's fine. That's a time period. That's not a character. Exactly.
Ventress, like you've got all of these other people. Ahsoka still. Ahsoka hasn't been in a mainstream movie. Other than the theatrically released animated film, but that hardly counts in my opinion. It's just a long pilot to the series, not a feature film, but
but I mean, that was the thing. It was Filoni was supposed to take all these series and put and bring them together in a big event film, but after Mando and Grogu, it seems like that might be on the back burner for a while, if that ever actually does happen. But we'll talk about that when we get to reviews a little later. But do you want to see 10, 11, 12, or do you think it's just let's tell other stories?
Come on.
Like, do you want?
Of course, I'll watch 10, 11, 12. But again,
do you think?
Give me a better what I grew up expecting from stories beyond the point we experienced as kids. We've got fragments of some of that, and the rest of it now cannot exist. So we're treading new ground here.
Like, I'm kind of hoping, like, because JJ was supposed to be the one doing the last set of trilogy, but then it got handed off and this and that. If Simon Kinberg actually does have a full plan for 3 movies and it's not 3 different people coming in, I kind of have a little hope. And maybe let's flesh out and use those characters that got sides, like Rose. She kind of got the brunt of the deal, or fucking anybody really, like Finn. Finn got so fucked. Finn was such a great character who got overshadowed.
Still think the core original story, I still firmly believe they drastically rewrote his story because of the Hasbro debacle and the classic, of course, releasing toys before movies tends to fuck up things, and they did exactly that.
Yeah,
it would be nice if we delved back into what could have been. Obviously, it won't be with that character anymore, but who's to say there won't be someone else that could fall under that, fall into that path?
True.
There's so much life left that you don't need to do it in the way you think we need to, I guess.
True.
It's super vague, but it's also like I'm just still so open to other experiences within this world.
Until we see it and get it, we won't know if it's going to work or not, essentially, till we know what it is, till we witness it.
What I want, all right, so down this line, the background right now that we're streaming with, if you're watching, is from one of my favorite fan-made animated shorts, so-called TIE Fighter. I want that right there, the storyline of Battlefront 2 before she switches back to the Rebels. Spoiler alert. That is what I would love to see in a film or a series. Something wholly within the Empire, and you're watching someone struggling through just the survival of their existence within that world, or rather the Republic, even an average non-force sensitive, not star pilot, not general of anything, but someone who's just trying to survive in this world.
That's what I liked about Maul so much, because some people knew what the Empire was doing, and some people thought the Empire was good. And it's like, oh yeah, there were just people. There wasn't always just Jedi and these people fighting. It's like, we're watching as society crumbles and some people adapt and some people get left behind. That's an interesting take that we got to dig a little bit in Maul, at least.
And as the universe is, I'm okay with as any storied franchise will explore, is certain historical events some may occasionally become cyclical. That's that thing of where do we can't then rise to the same level as the Empire once was.
True.
As the Galactic Republic was before them, because then you start getting spread too thin, you start having too much control, you start it's those things where
slippery slope. We
get to see what does the New Republic, how do they end up handling business where they don't make the same mistakes everyone else has before them. And I think, again, we don't need to be Coruscant center. Well, not Coruscant anymore. My mistake. We don't need to be center of the universe, like center of the galaxy centric. I want to see what bounty hunters are doing. I want to see what pod racers are doing. Like, you could give me I'm
excited for that pod racer game coming out, dude. That's going to be dope.
Too. You could give me goddamn Star Wars NASCAR. I will be here for it, man. That would be awesome. Some redneck fucking outer rim driver who's just trying to make their way and just get some prize money to buy that sweet ship to go off to fuck off land, whatever. That would be cool too. And I honestly have faith they could do a very interesting story or mini series and something like that. And the things they used to not be afraid of in the novels and the comics and the video games
or even, like, I know a lot of people didn't like Acolyte, but where they were going with it, like, as the Jedis were the villain, like, that'd be kind of cool to, like, see that point of view, dig a little deeper. Like, maybe the Jedi aren't as holy as we think they're.
It canonically has been a thing, and I like that idea. The things that fans have, the one story fans have been begging for, I think, more than most others, the Old Republic. Let's get back into Kotar, and you don't have to tell it. Fallout has taught us you don't have to tell us the exact story that was within the game. Put us in the world of that and let us witness the events unfold. That would be incredible. there's so much gas left in the tank. We don't need to just come back to the same things. But again, I'll circle back to I'm not afraid of the Skywalker timeline. Just offer us some fresh, interesting perspectives.
Yeah.
Within that world.
Fair enough. Well, that's going to do it for the news section, man. That was a lot to take in, but I think we can get into our little section we like to call polls. All right, on episode 240, Dennis reviewed weapons. So I wanted to know, out of The Goonies, Mimic, Hollow Man, and W, which is the Toasty's favorite Josh Brolin movie? Where do you lay on that one, Dennis?
Goonies.
That seems like a slam dunk right there.
You always want to beat that older brother, right? I was the older brother. But that's classic. I think that's a great
right.
Like, I think The Goonies honestly just shows he's always had it.
Mm-hmm.
Always
some charm and charisma. He wasn't just a nepo baby because of his father.
Yep.
Like he had what it took, the juice. Yeah.
The man had it then, still has it now.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to say probably Goonies as well, but maybe a little Mimic. I feel like I haven't seen Mimic in forever, but I really enjoyed that movie. But let's find out what the Toasties had to say here. 12% for Mimic, so fuck that movie. 13% for W, more than I thought it would get. 25% for a movie called The Goonies, and 50% for Hollow Man. I'm kind of surprised by that. Yeah.
Saw that one not that long ago, I guess, or maybe like in the last.
That's true. It's more recent. I haven't seen that since like it came on DVD. I feel like
shit. Okay, that's worth a revisit. It's wild what we used to accept as like this was entertaining and not like violently offensive, or watching Kevin Bacon do some very foul things, and we're supposed to kind of like, oh, that's fun. And like,
he's good at it, which is the scary part.
Yes, and he said like it is a brilliant retelling of The Invisible Man, which I believe was what Universal was attempting to do.
They did
one of the many attempts of them hitting all of the classic.
Universal I don't know. I mean, when did this one come out? I want to say early 2000s. Like, is this around the same time as Van Helsing or?
Oh,
wow!
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Or the Benicio's Wolfman. So yeah, maybe they were in that point where they were doing like the dark universe style. They're like, we're gonna do it, but we're not gonna say shit about it. We're just gonna make it happen. Huh. All right. Fair enough. All right, this next one here, Dennis. We got another poll here. Bum 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 bum. I hit the wrong button. All right, on episode 240, you also reviewed Marty, Life is Short. So I wanted to know, out of Three Amigos, Inner Space, Captain Ron, and Mars Attacks, which is the Toastie's favorite Martin Short movie? I think for me, I'm going to go with Mars Attacks, man. It had everything going for it in my book.
I think I will lean towards Three Amigos just because that was the first time you got him on that scale. Like, you got him as a lead in that scale, and he played so fucking well with the rest of his two main castmates. Otherwise, I like Captain Ron version of him too, trying to be the straight-laced like the dad. But Inner Space is great too because it's so much physical comedy and him having to react to that. God, he's such a malleable guy, but yet he's so animated. Amigos. I think I'll go Three Amigos. All right.
This is another one. I'm going to admit, I didn't like it. I tried to go back and rewatch it a couple months ago. I gave up. And it's interesting. I didn't realize this was in between Lorne Michaels leaving SNL. He wrote this. This is one of the things that got him out of the funk a little bit.
Interesting.
Three Amigos. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So let's see what the Toasties had to say here.
Yeah. What are they?
0% for fucking Captain Ron. So
Wild. Everything should have something. Like
15% for Inner Space, 35% for Mars Attacks, and 50% for Three Amigos. I feel like that the writing was on the wall there.
I had a feeling Three Amigos would be toward the top, but I thought all of them would have had votes though. That's surprising,
right? Yeah. Well, sometimes the toasties can really shock us a bit, I think.
That you still can.
So I think it's time to get into our main crux of the show here, man. Our favorite part of the show. Reviews.
Nice camera action, it's review time. Dennis and Adam, we gon' blow your mind. We're stepping up to the plate, ready to swing. Analyzing movies like a scientist would play.
All right, so you are going to start us off here, Dennis, with a little movie called, well, I'll let you give the whole intro.
I can do that. My first review up tonight is a long-standing franchise I've been a fan of since my childhood, but Amazon has taken over. I'm talking about Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan Ghost War.
Jack Ryan, what do you know about Starlink?
You mean an unsanctioned black ops team designed for psychological warfare, assassinations?
Let's shut it down. The Starling has been resurrected.
The storm is coming.
You ready?
Let's go cause an incident.
All right.
Yes, we're bringing back our favorite dudes from the Jack Ryan series. We're talking about Wendell Pierce, Michael Kelly, and of course Jim himself. We're getting all the gang back together. This is continuing after the end of the Jack Ryan series, where kind of, we're getting called back into the mission thing. Jack has gone civilian. He's working in the private sector. But given his experience and his personal connection with Greer, James Greer can only trust Jack to get this mission done. So we are jumping right back into the thick of it and finding out that this some ghosts of Greer's past have come back to haunt him. And
yikes.
We need people like so far removed from the situation to come in that we're calling in all the favors, only to find out even people who jump us right towards the first, end of the first act of the movie might be our allies as well. And I love this sort of high stakes action that reminds me of like the Harrison Ford Tom Clancy films to a certain extent, not quite as wordy and espionage-y. It's definitely, these totally lean more towards the action, but they're not afraid to delve into the political element and getting into the raising the stakes in that direction. And honestly, this is the stuff I enjoy. I really like living in this world of the pure espionage. It's not just, we don't need to give it all this political motivation so much as like, they want to hurt us. We need to hurt them before they hurt others. Setup. But this one has a twist, and I really like finding out the people you think are your allies may not be as angelic as you think they are.
Oh,
and really trying to put the history of the people you think you know into perspective. I think this movie did a great job of it for something that's like on the page or even in the frame looks like it's probably like a middle ground budget Amazon film. I think they milked every dollar out as they could on screen as best as they could. And I thought it looked awesome. You have big stylized set pieces. Although we kind of float between it's London, Saudi Arabia, or Dubai, London, Dubai, with a little bit of New York. That's kind of a quick background moment, if anything. I think they really made all of the sets look great. You had some really cool, I think one of the cooler automotive chase scenes I've seen in a while, where it's not perfection. It's not Fast and the Furious. It's violent. It's rough. It's like we're beating the shit. It reminds me more of a Jason Bourne sort of car chase scene, where I like how just intense it is, and there's no perfection. I like that it's we're getting beat up and bloody. we're introducing some characters I find interesting. Even the motivations of those characters, that's the old Tom Clancy stuff that I kind of miss. Of like they can provide the logic. It's not just outright pure evil. It's they're defending the mission that they think they've been set out on. I don't know if you recall some of those elements of like the basis for the film The Rock. This is what the guys are doing. They think they're honoring the people they need to be honoring, even though they're doing it in a way that it should not be done. And I like that. I like when you give our antagonists an almost heroic mission, essentially from their perspective, and it adds to that tension, and it adds to the understanding of our main character. And John Krasinski, I think he plays a killer Jack Ryan. A more modern telling of these characters that I think works in today's world to the extent of, again, removing those other elements and making it purely about the conflict in front of them, and then just trying to get the job done. And I really enjoyed it. Jack Ryan is available for streaming on Netflix right now. It's a continuation of that series as well as Without Remorse. I think it fits well within that universe. I'm going to give Ghost War 3 slices of toast.
Not bad. That I was looking forward to your review because I know this series you really enjoyed and I wanted to get into, but I just never had a chance yet. And then I'm like, it's over. But now it's like, all right, there's a movie. Does this feel more elevated than the show? Does it feel on par with the show?
It does feel slightly more elevated. The show does a good job of raising the stakes and giving big set pieces, but not for as drawn out as I would say this movie does. Just like Without Remorse. Without Remorse felt distinctly different than the Jack Ryan series for the same reasons. It was not afraid to really throw that action to the screen and really make the audience experience those moments. And I think Ghost War does the Jack Ryan perspective of that too, because he's not a fucking Rainbow Six member, he's not that guy per se, but he's as much as Jack Ryan should be on the front line.
Fair enough,
given the rest of his skill set. And at the end of the day, he's a spy. He's not a soldier. So
yeah,
I think I loved living this world. Wendell Pierce,
I love Wendell.
That man is amazing. Michael Kelly playing Mike November. I love his very sarcastic approach to the situation in his dialogue. But when it comes to the situation, that guy gets the fucking job done. Sienna Miller did a great job as the new support in this story. And I like that they didn't play into stereotypical elements too much, other than those human moment reactions you would expect to see.
Now, do you have to have seen the series, or could you hop in and be like, all right, this is some contained type of thing? You'd understand more.
All you need to know is Jack was a spy for the CIA. James Greer was his boss, who's now risen to another level. They explain all that away within the first few minutes. I really don't think you need to see a lick of anything else in this world.
Nice.
I think it just adds to the fun. Let's phrase it that way. It doesn't. I don't want to say it like the way I say it helps if you've seen Clone Wars before you watch Maul. You don't need to, but it does fill in a few of those little nooks and crannies. Jack Ryan, I don't think stacks itself up quite the way that something like Maul does. Comparison.
Fair enough. All right, well, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to checking that out. I might actually, I'll probably power through the series and then get to that in the next couple of months. All right, I'm going to get us off to another new movie here, man. I'm going to talk about Power Ballad.
What do you want to do? What's next on Marcellus? You're not just some boy band guy. And you are too good for that wedding band. You play something, I'll come up with the lyrics. You ready?
Let's do this.
This song changed my life.
Power Ballad. Rated R. In theaters everywhere June 5th.
All right, now this is a movie by Irish director named John Carney. He does a lot of movies that are kind of based around like music and stuff. Like he did Once, Begin Again, Sing Street, Flora and Son. Really charming little thought-provoking pieces, and this one's a little more broad, which I kind of like. So you have Paul Rudd. He's an American who was in a band. The band kind of was rising to the top. They had a song. They were about to sign with a label and like blow up, but he fell in love with a woman in Ireland when he was on tour. Decided to have a child with her. Kind of stood behind and kind of gave that life up. But he's playing in a wedding band essentially, and we see he's happy. He's loving life. He wishes he had done more, but he's doing what he loves. He's performing. He's making the best out of life. He has a family. He's content. And then there's this one wedding that's a bit a ways from his house, and it's like an overnight job. And the guy getting married, his like roommate or childhood best friend, is a former member of a boy band, and essentially that man is now trying to make his own solo career, but he's having a hard time at it. And that character is played by Nick Jonas. And so the groom is like, hey, man, can you guys do one song? Can my friend Danny come up there and sing with you? And like, of course, these are old guys. They don't really know him, but like, yeah, sure, come on up. And like, so they're jamming, and like, the boy band guy finally finds, he's like, oh, this is good. This is what I kind of miss. And like, he's having a good time. And like later on, he runs into Paul Rudd, and the two kind of hang out. They get high, they drink, and they're just jamming a bit, talking about music. And Paul Rudd is like, plays an original song for him, and like cordial. Everything's going great. He even gives him a really rare guitar. And a couple months later, Paul Rudd's at the mall, and he hears a song come on the radio sung by this guy, and it's the song that Paul Rudd sang for him. And Paul Rudd's like, that's my song. And like, nobody really believes him, and he's kind of losing his mind. He just wants, like, this could change his life. If like, he's not even saying he wants to like be credited, or he just wants a little piece of it. Like if he could be credited, he doesn't want to sing on it. If he could be credited, he'd get some money. He could really help his family out, could get his career off the ground. But this guy stole it, and he doesn't want to admit to it, and he kind of wants to, but his manager, played by Jack Rayner, is like, no, don't say anything. And he also kind of like says that he wrote this song for his girlfriend, so it's kind of slippery. And it's just like all about Paul Rudd slowly losing his mind and trying to find a way to get to him, and it slowly eats away and drives him crazy. And like we're seeing the darker side of Paul Rudd that we don't see a lot. Like, he doesn't go super, super dark, but it does get a little slippery. It's an hour and 38 minutes. It flies by. The music in it's really good. The chemistry of this cast is fun. Like I said, you got Paul Rudd, Nick Jonas, Jack Rayner, Havana Rose Liu, and then some like Irish actors who I don't know. But it's a delightful little movie, and it's interesting because, like, this type of shit probably happens often. Like, people get their work stolen and never get recognition. But
for sure, yeah. 1000%.
But I really enjoyed it because it's funny. It's kind of sad at some points, and I don't know. It's kind of a good time at the movies. Nice. I'm gonna give Power Ballad 2.5 slices of toast.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
It's one, honestly, I was intrigued by, especially given the casting. I know these are unexpected people that I feel like work really well in this type of storytelling. And
yeah,
I'm looking forward to this one. I think it could be at least a fun time to experience this sort of like, I like that, like slowly going crazy. Like, I'm not crazy, you're crazy.
Yeah. And it's like, cool. He's telling his family, like, no, this is my song. I wrote it, and they're all thinking he's like insane, and like, and there's like some heart and soul. Like, there's a reason he wrote this song, and you find out later on, it's like, oh, this is kind of holy shit, interesting. And it's cool because, like, Nick Jonas, of course, he can sing, and Paul Rudd has a pretty good singing voice and stuff, and it's just fun watching because you're watching a character who has no problem with his life. He enjoys being in a wedding band. Of course, he'd rather play original songs, and like they're like, we're jukeboxes. We're not allowed to do that, and like that kind of
it's that classic finding out your personal, like your unique creative voice. Turns out it actually can
Mm-hmm.
play out that way. So of course
Yeah.
that would motivate you to be like, well, wait a minute, hold on. No. I am capable. I just found out.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me that piece.
Yeah.
I don't need to be the, I'm not saying
Yeah.
I'm the guy, I'm not
He's
gonna
not
Milli
looking for
Vanilli
that.
this.
Yeah.
I just want to be the one that wrote for Milli Vanilli, okay? Like,
Mm-hmm. And
that's cool.
yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
just it's such an interesting look at this. Like, I really like the director, so I'm like, all right, definitely. Like, I thought this would have been more funny, more broad, but it's a little more contained, a little tight. So yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Nice.
Yeah, that's coming out this upcoming Friday. It might be in limited release right now. I think I saw this a couple of weeks ago at a festival. So yeah, check it out if you can. But you and I are going to tag team this next movie here, but I'll let you take the reins on it.
Okay. If it hasn't already been clear, I'm a little bit of a Star Wars fan. This is the blockbuster, much anticipated Star Wars hit, The Mandalorian and Grogu.
The remains of the Empire want another war, and a new power is coming.
What's my mission?
Something you may not come back from.
I've collected the most deadly creatures from across the galaxy. The Mandalorian will die. I won't always be around to protect you.
There comes a time where we all have to say goodbye.
Get out of there, Mando.
This is the way.
Star Wars: The Mandalorian and Grogu, rated PG-13.
I know I said I'm going to let you take the reins, and I will, but I just got to say,
Just after
listening
this.
to that, and then as I was going through looking for the audio clips, listening to all the TV spots, I'm like, the way they cut these, they make them seem like a hell of a lot of a different plot and more riveting. Kudos to the trailer editors here. That's all I'll say for now.
Okay, I feel like over time they've tried to almost express different stories. For me, that's what it sounded like, of like what I feel like was suggested in the earliest advertising versus how they're spinning it now. I'm like, well, okay, that's a way to spin it. Say, Ben Riley is here to review a movie.
Oh boy.
So, Mandalorian and Grogu, it's picking up after we are well into the fall of the Empire. This is the ideally the New Republic. The remains of the rebellion are now just, we are skimming up the dregs of the Imperial resistance, the remnant forces, essentially, that the last ones who think they've got legs to stand on, but really they're all, this is one of the things I kind of like, is it's rolling back into some of the Legends canon of a lot of the Moffs, a lot of the generals, admirals, basically become governors of their own little corners of space and start doing business as they see fit. And we smash right into that story right out the gate of, we're watching that unfold firsthand as our favorite Mandalorian and little green alien roll into the scene and do their business in grand fashion as we'd expect it to be.
Oh yeah.
It's to me, honestly, a lot of it unfolds very much like a slightly grander version of a big episode of the show. Maybe a couple episodes of the show stitched together, again, on a bigger scale than we're normally accustomed to seeing. But for me personally, that's kind of what I wanted.
Yeah, like
I couldn't ask for any more than what we were delivered.
Like, honestly, it was 100% better than the third season of the show. Give it that.
I could agree with that. I didn't hate the third season, but I do agree with that statement.
I didn't hate it. I did kind of hate it because I felt like they lost. It wasn't about Din and Grogu. It was more about
third season of the show or the movie.
The movie, the show. I like the whole.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I was about to say. Oh my god!
Season I love the third act of the movie. Now, I've listened to countless reviews. I've heard every take on all the shit. But let me tell you what I liked. The action is great. I really dug the weird synth music. The heart it had. Like, yeah, there were some daddy issues with some of these characters, but I like Rod of the Hutt. I like the practical effects.
Feeling. Yeah. Oh, fuck
oh
my god, yes.
I will say there was also a lot of mediocre CG effects, but when practical was happening, that was gold. I gotta say, the movie started off with a bang. That first like sequence, stunning. And like whenever there's action happening, I'm like, cool. But I'm like, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more growth. I would have liked, like, our characters didn't go through any, there was no change for anybody. Like Grogu got to do a little bit more, but I want to see Grogu lean in, learn a little bit more, maybe talk, find out what species he is. I don't know. Like, I'm happy he got his moments.
It's interesting. I find that interesting because I don't think quite enough time has passed for us to really. Like,
isn't he like 100 years old though?
He's barely over 50. We've already said.
Okay, I thought he was in his hundreds.
Within the series of Mandalorian, it's already been said that he's maybe 50 years old.
Okay.
So like even if we skip ahead 10 years, which it's less than that, but I don't think that's enough development for any species that lives 900 or 1,000.
Sure.
Till like, I guess it's 700, but still, it's still, that's not like we haven't progressed enough quite down the line there. But yeah, what's funny is like some of the things you're pointing at, it's like that's kind of some of the charm I really enjoyed too. I didn't need. We developed the characters already.
Sure.
I wanted to see them on a bigger scale, and then re-solidifying their relationship on a big screen, I think, was in a beautiful way. And those touching moments that we explored, even if we kind of hoped what happened did happen, it's still like I got choked up in those like those.
I saw it twice. When I first watched, I'm like, holy shit, maybe there are stakes. Maybe something could happen. But I'm like, all right, it didn't. Thank God that didn't happen. But I'm like, I just feel like, I'm not saying I'm angry that there wasn't more growth, but I'm just saying in a movie, normally your characters have to have growth. So it's kind of off, but
you're correct. No, I won't refute that
situation. That's cool.
Yeah.
But
I think that's why, like, I came in with the mentality of like, we're getting 2 or 2.5 episodes kind of mashed into one big story. And then I think this is a great, to me, all I was hoping for was where is our jumping off point that we have a chance of potentially these characters existing somewhere down the line that don't tie so deeply into the core of the story that like, well, where the fuck was Din Djarin and Grogu this whole time when we were battling the Empire? Well, because it doesn't make sense. They wouldn't be at the front line. They wouldn't be destroying Starkiller Base. They wouldn't be, like that's not their mission. That's not how they're playing out their thing. This is a father now, this is a man taking care of someone he recognizes as.
Although I didn't like how he was like treating him like a dog at times when he's like, hail. I'm like, that's never been done before. But I did like the fact that he was trying to tell him to like calm down. But I'm like, why are you treating him like a pet?
I think what's funny is like, to me, it's that they don't have a mutual spoken language truly yet. That this is like the assumed. When it comes to me saying this word, I'm being serious now.
I can see that.
Your parent telling you to shut the fuck up, or it's the Din Djarin equivalent of like, okay, I'm getting serious now, Grogu. If I say heal, that means you got to knock that shit off.
Fair enough.
But in their cutesy approach, because you don't ever want to hear him speak to Grogu like that, right? Like,
oh, no, yeah.
It's that like, but I get what you mean. I feel like, I'm always gonna have a softer spot for it. I will be very upfront with that. Like,
you got it.
Yeah,
I gotta say, a while I'm like, oh, Grogu didn't get anything to do. But once Grogu was the star of the movie, like when we saw him get in action, when he had his like fucking Gizmo and the fucking sequel to Gremlins, like when he's gearing up and shit, and when he's with the Bubba Freaks, I'm like, all right, this is what I want. This is great. Even like when he kept like when the mud hut hitting the head, like I'm like, yeah. When he really got to shine, that was fantastic. I'm like, why don't we have more of this? Yeah. And like when him and fucking Rada were on the beach together, I was so delighted, man. It's like that's so fucking cute and fun watching them.
And it's those are the moments I feel like.
Sorry, there's spoilers, folks.
As brief as that was. Those are those moments of like, that warms my soul that like, yes, those pieces of happiness do exist. It's not all Warhammer 40K darkest depths of the universe all the time. You know, like there are people who live normal lives that find their joy. And here's a moment of gratification of, oh my God, yes, at least they can both find happiness in their lives of strife and getting ripped away from their families and getting forced into situations they had no choice to be a part of. But now that they're finally they're making decisions for themselves, they've both found each other in that little glimmer of happiness, you know? And I think that's one of the things I like. There's a certain bounty hunter character I was very fucking excited to see on screen in live action that I'm a big fan of him on the animated series. I like his character in Galaxy of Heroes. He's fucking cool. See, this is where those of us who went down the line of all the Clone Wars and all that stuff, one of those little glimmers of, oh, fuck yes, you acknowledge one of these things, one of these characters I've come to love, in the way they treated the character at his depart from the screen was fucking perfect, because that's exactly what a true bounty hunter to their core should treat that situation. And he did it exactly the way I hoped.
You know who I liked?
The Anzellans.
They were the best. They were the cutest, funniest little creatures.
I'm this close to. I've been looking at finding Val a little plush of the Anzellans. They all just look so different. I want like the whole crew. I want the whole gang. You know?
And I love that, like the way they talk. They kind of remind me of like the little worm guys from Men in Black a bit. Like random shit they say. We told you we were coming back. Hey, big guy, come on, let's get a drink. Yeah. Just watching them in the ship, like the tiny little ship with Grogu behind them,
and Grogu's
or
huge.
the speeder. Yeah.
That's honestly, that's one of those things I feel like the way they apparently the way they complained about the Ewoks back in the day, or the way we would joke about the Porgs, like you get these clearly injected, like you want to make this marketable character. Here's one I am so fucking 1000% behind these guys. Like, and they make sense.
I'd watch a whole movie of those guys. Like the fact that they were going to work on the Razor Crest, or whatever the new one is called, and they were just spending the night at Mando's house. It's like, what? Okay, I'm on board, man. Sure, why not?
They could sleep in a shoebox. Who fucking cares? You know, they'll split one ration among all of them. That'll be fine. You know, like,
I love the frog guy, the fish guy, like that helped Grogu. That guy was delightful.
Well, okay, I've got my own theories about all that stuff, because to me, he's clearly a Doug. He's the same race that Sebulba was in episode 1.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think it's Sebulba.
Wow.
But it's the same kind of alien, and I kind of like this sort of bookendy, like, here's one that was a total dick to future Darth Vader, but then here's one that turns out they're not all dicks. You know, this guy is. Yeah. It would be kind of cool. I honestly, I wouldn't even hate if they unraveled the whole thread, and it turns out this is Sebulba, just total washed up pod racer. He lost his title. He never got it back. Fuck it. I learned to speak basic. I'm just gonna chill in my swamp and go fishing, and you know, he's already
just
living
the way he
under
talked
the thumb
was
of
earnest.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that sort of hillbilly in the sticks kind of vibe that he still had, but he had that experience and worldly knowledge to know to separate certain characters and not acknowledge each other's existence. It's the things like that. That's the charm that really had me like fall for this film, and that I liked that they fleshed out all these little bits. Giving Zeb more to.
I was gonna say, how do you feel about him? Like
Zeb. A live action version
I feel like
of him, he did so fucking good.
In my eyes, I feel like he didn't have enough to. He just popped in and out. Like, I want to see him in the shit, like do a little bit more, man.
I think we primed him for more to come, because we haven't never seen it, unless we're just purely suggesting the only other time we see him is at the end of Rise of Skywalker, or episode 9, at the resolution of that film, when we get the entire New Republic to show up, the entire fleet to show up. We can't simply suggest that's the only other time he had something to do. No. The fact that he's always been a outer rim pilot defending the inner civilization from pirates and mercenaries and all the wildness that's the Wild West-esque of there. Sigourney Weaver, I think she had too little.
Yeah, I almost kind of wanted there to be a twist where she was the bad guy or something. But I will say I was so delighted seeing her fly an X-wing. I'm like, oh, that was that. Right, you sold me right there.
What a fucking killer day at work for her. Not only is she the queen of another sci-fi franchise, but now she's canonically a fucking captain in the Rebel Alliance and is the pilot of an X-wing. Like, what a cool thing to have. To me, that just warms my heart that her as a performer now gets to add this to her repertoire. And I think the limited time she was on camera, she carried it very fucking well.
Sure. Yeah, I'm with you on that. She was a damn delight, man.
Yeah.
Heck, yeah. Another scene I really liked when Mando went back to talk to Scorsese's guy, and Scorsese's like, and he's like, here you go. Here's the payment. He's like, I didn't tell you anything. He's like, it's for his tab. And you just see Grogu eating shit.
Going to town. Like
I love watching Grogu just eating shit, man.
But it's those charming moments too that I think that's what helps remind you that this isn't like the other stories. This is how these guys live their lives. This is the double cross with the speeder when we thought we were helping Rudda escape. And then he's just, fuck it. Sorry, guys, I'm out.
Yeah.
But I love,
and it's you believe that he was good. It's all right, he's going to get a car. He'll be back, man.
But he's putting himself first too. I can't even fault the character. The guy just wants to carve out his own name.
Yeah, he's trying so hard, and he finally has respect and admiration. People didn't look at him because of who his dad was; looked at him because he was this fierce warrior. And that's where the whole gladiator stuff I liked. After that happened, it became like a creature feature situation. They're on the loose in the city. I'm like, that's kind of fun to watch.
Yeah,
running amok throughout the city. And all right, there we go. The set design, man. I love the set design in this movie, man. So beautiful.
There's so much practicality for as much as, and it's not just you. A lot of people have marked against the CG. To me, it's I think it only stood out a handful of times because what drew my eye was the practical puppetry, the practical sets, and what the very physical things that the actors were doing. And that's also what I was primed for. That's what was drawing me in. But I'm with you. Those sets were gorgeous, and they built, whether it was the interior of an AT-AT to these grand cities to a little fucking noodle shop, barbecue shop thing with a very familiar voice alien. To Nal Hutta. We've never seen Nal Hutta on cam
but that's where it got a little slippery to me with all the CG huts. It's I get some things huts can't do, but make it puppet and blend it with CG. Don't just give me fucking all CG huts.
I think that's where you have to, for me at least, I see it as having to strike a balance, because you can't build 50 huts, man. There's a lot there. I think retracting some of the marketing budget, we could have held back on some of that to save for maybe a few, at least. A few.
Well, I'm not saying all of them have to be, but
of course, sure.
But you're the twins, all right? The twins, at least.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I can understand that. Yeah, it's but at least they gave us things like, I like that the throne room itself had a lot of physical effects. Like you said, the arena, when we started breaking the electric fence and getting out into the rest of that hall there.
Yeah.
Every ship interior, I liked it was just claustrophobic enough, but felt like, if I had to sit in this for a few weeks, I could figure it out,
Right. Oh, that was another scene I love, when he's like, all right, you guys get ready, and Rada's like, I don't know how to fly this to you, and Grogu's like,
yeah, you're right. Or Rada having nowhere to go but the fucking hand.
Yeah.
Well,
awkwardly standing there.
Sucks. It was so charming in those elements, and I don't know. I'll admit, fanboy that will always come out, but I am not seeing the negativity that the film was met with.
No, I agree. I'm not as angry as most people. You got to know what you're going into. Yes, this was a TV show. Sure.
Way too many clickbaity reviews and things. I'm sick of these. My theater was empty. Well, what's this piece of shit?
My theaters were all packed.
Will Star Wars ever come back from this I'm like,
and that's the thing. As much money as it made, it's a lot of fucking money. For a Star Wars movie, it's not, but for a movie, it's a good amount of money.
they at least made made the film budget back. They didn't get the advertising money
wasn't
yet.
Yeah, but they will. This is going to make money. Merchandise alone, they're going to make their money back.
Exactly, and that's
what it is. Toys, clothes.
Everyone forgets the juggernaut of Star Wars. Anything, it's the stuff. That's what makes. We're going to keep watching the movie for 50 years. Let's be honest. Yeah. The last ones have been. The rest of it, I think, will be too.
Everyone, not everyone loves, but the prequel. Everyone hated it at the time. Now the prequel is regarded as not too bad.
Now I think the sequels are now almost starting to catch wind of that because they're treating the sequel series the way they did the prequel series.
Yeah.
Give it a matter of time. The same generation that grew up with the sequel series being their prequel series experience, like you and I had, they're going to say the same things. We're already I think people are already saying that about Solo. Solo did not deserve the flack it got.
No, not at all. Not
Rogue
in
One
the slightest.
Already hallowed as incredible film.
That was already out of the get-go. Everyone loved it.
Yeah. Andor already got all of that. The way people shit on Acolyte at the gate, give it time. I think the same thing will happen. People are going to come back around because people have already done it. Come back around after the fact and be like, wait a minute, what are you guys...
And that's
you guys mad about?
There are years where you're like, I don't know if I'm ever going to see anything Star Wars related. And now there's so much people are taking it for granted. It's like, yeah, you have hits, you have misses, you have some mediocre. But guess what? You're still getting content. Like you said, you don't have to watch this if you don't like that. You can watch that. You can just live on the whatever you like, whatever zone.
I tried Star Wars: The Resistance. Didn't like it. It's not for me. At first I was like, oh, because it's supposed to be a kid's show, right? You know what I ended up liking a lot more than I thought? The Young Jedi. Watching that with my nieces, they're the target audience. Not only is it cute as hell, but it is actually tackling some intense Star Wars topics and some deep cut lore that I'm like, holy fuck. Okay. I'm not even gonna try to explain it to these kids, but they're loving the lessons that are being taught and the very essential roots of what it means to be a Jedi. And it's such a good message. There's always going to be those things that are going to be hidden.
You know what I really would love to see, but I guess I guess there's a couple. The villain show, the underground show would be great, but there's I think 50 episodes of a stupid monkey. Seth Green made a children's claymation series that just got buried, and they're shot, they're produced, but never getting released for some reason. That'd be fun to see.
Oh yeah,
it's why can't we?
I mean, I was still hoping for the animated, the Star Wars satire series that Seth Green had. That's got, was it 20 episodes they made or something?
I don't know.
Well, they were they're drawn in almost the pop vinyl-y sort of emotions. And there's a few clips online. You can find them. But they had basically finished the run of the series, and then Lucasfilm was like, never mind, and pulled the plug. And maybe someday they'll change their minds, and we'll get to see a glimmer of that. But I forget the name of the two characters, but there is an infamous Star Wars comic book series about two bumbling stormtroopers, where you're seeing all of the events of the original trilogy play out from their perspective.
That's interesting, kind of like Romeo and Juliet or Hamlet, where you had those characters. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. I get exactly what you're saying. It's like they were on the Death Star and just happened to leave before it got blown up. They were late in the landing crew of snowtroopers on Hoth. They're always and they somehow escape everything. They were the ones that saved Boba Fett. This guy's struggling in a Sarlacc pit, and oh shit, let's help this guy out. He's asking for help, and then they happen to pull out Boba Fett, and they're like, oh shit, it's but all in a comedic, and
sure.
I think there's plenty of room for stories like that to unfold, and I think it's just people need not be so closed off and just try new flavors. It just happens to be in the Star Wars cup.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's what I did like about the movie. There was different styles, different genres in each act almost. Like
yeah.
It felt different
Agreed.
flavor everywhere you go. So it's like you're hitting a different quadrant every couple of minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I will say, I don't know why. Probably just me being nitpicky, but I feel like Grogu looked a little bit too fake in some scenes. Like it didn't the pup. It looked a little. I don't know how to describe it.
There's a lot more movement. We haven't seen this much. Because in the series, he's never been this active.
True.
There's a lot more action going on. I think that showed. But I also like this is a part of, like to me, this is a part of his character development. He's growing up. He's he's growing into his little awkward body. Although it's a short time has passed, he's had this experience of finally getting to really exercise his force sensitivity. He's not passing out after every time he's using his force powers.
True.
He's worn the Mandalorian armor the little bit was given in the series. It's that little bit of growth. We just haven't he's not done.
Yeah.
Growing.
True.
Yeah.
And I will say, oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying, but I get what you're saying. I do get from what you see on camera. I think again in my mind, I'm just so accepting of it. Like, oh yeah, it's a puppet on set. These are,
and don't get me wrong. I know I sound like a hypocrite because I'm like, I want to see more puppetry, and then I'm like, he looked too much like a puppet here. But it's like
he's too puppety. Yeah.
but the one thing,
it's fair.
I will give major props. I love the fact that in the title sequence and credits and whatnot, that Brendan Wayne and Lateef Crowder got top billing because they are Mandalorian essentially, and I feel like we didn't get that with the series.
Yep. I think people they deserve that. Having literally breathed the life into who Din Djarin or the Mandalorian is on camera. So much of it can be attuned to the voice. And no offense to
Pedro, but the physicality is still very important.
Fantastic actor, but he's not the one breathing all the life into this character. It takes literally two other people to fully flesh out who this man is.
Because he was pretty much only in the movie, physically, for a scene or two,
a few minutes. He's only helmet off for one scene, and then it's his voice the rest of it. So
But all right, you saw it in 40X, right? How was that?
That I did. Man, that will rock your fucking world. It was one of those it's of course, we're getting shaken around towards the beginning, but it's that scene when he's taking the ATSD, the scout walker
going downhill,
and he's tipping and he does that hold on. Like, oh shit. And that's exactly what we needed to do because I about got bucked out of that chair. But the rain effects, the wind, all of that did so well and it worked so well for this. The movie didn't feel like it was built toward that. It felt like the technology was built toward watching a movie like this, and I think it did a great job. One of my favorite scenes was, spoiler alerts, somewhat, people, not in great detail, but one of my favorite physical scenes in the 40X was when he was ramming the ship through the temple at Nal Hutta, and he's just busting through the walls. I was sliding out of my seat. It was kicking us around so hard, but I was laughing so hard the whole time.
Nice.
It's exactly what I wanted to feel. And every time they cut to that POV of the cockpit as it's just blasting through with the stone and that living membrane structure that made up everything, it played so well, and that was so much fun to watch it that way. As much as I love seeing F1 like that, Mandalorian and Grogu was this is the quintessential. This is why 40X exists. Was for sure.
Yeah.
The only thing it was missing was scent.
I was gonna say, was there anything?
Hot air. It doesn't. There's no heat.
When you're in the swamp and everything.
Yeah, I wish heat was an element. They don't introduce anything like that. All you get is wind, foam, and various forms of water. But aside from shaking the seat from I gotta say 6, 7, or 8 points they can impact you. So sometimes blaster fire, is there's a bar that kind of punches you in the back. My only complaint,
those ones are painful.
Specifically to 40X is when like the motion doesn't match what I'm visually seeing on the camera. So like you get the blaster fire coming across screen. It's like Din is tilting his head out of the way, and then instead of hitting you from the front, now something is hitting me from the back. I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. I'm seeing the blaster bolt from the front. I shouldn't be feeling it behind me unless you're trying to suggest like the impact, like shockwave from it hitting a wall or something. But that's very nitpicky. It's not like that would require you to wear like a vest, or you'd have a whole harness of shit punching you in the chest to make that work. So that's a very minor thing, but I loved it in 40X. I thought it was a lot of fun. The little kid sitting on the other side of the Val, we were so scared he was going to give up, but he locked in. He was there for the whole thing, and he wouldn't let his mom take him away. He had to be like 8, maybe 7.
Dang.
Like, and I'm like, what a little champ. That guy stuck through it. So, even as scary as some of those jump scares got, I'm like, good on you, kid. I probably would have had to have at least turned away or left at some point. But
nice. Now I will say I only saw it in regular IMAX, but the way they took advantage of the screen, like the way like the format would change here and there, it was kind of seamless and beautiful. But didn't get to see it in 3D or 3D IMAX, and I would have seen it in 40X, but my only 40X theater near me closed, so I'm like, fuck. Yeah. Anything else before we close this one out?
No,
what do you think?
I will talk. I'll talk Star Wars all night. So
for sure.
But about this movie,
right.
I feel very at peace with my experience, and I am totally ready to give it my slice.
Hell yeah! All right. So what are you going to give it?
3.5. It's not. It wasn't a perfect Star Wars movie, but it filled me with joy, and I felt emotion. I felt excitement. I enjoyed my Star Wars experience here. So
yeah, 3.5's not bad. 3.5 is not too bad. I think I'm going to give it 2.5 on my end.
All right, fair enough. Yeah.
Like honestly, not bad. Just want a little bit more substance, but like you said, you know what you're getting into seeing this. It's not going to be for everyone, but it sounds like it was for us. All right. Up next, I have a new movie called The Furious.
You're looking for someone.
So am I.
My wife went missing. To be alive.
Well, damn. Tom Toretto.
Yeah.
Tom Toretto took a turn.
I got to say, that was the shortest trailer I could get, so I do apologize because you're not getting you're getting visuals you're getting in that trailer. So yeah, I've been looking forward to this movie for quite some time. I saw a trailer that was just essentially a clip from the opening. I'm like, oh fuck, this movie looks insane. So it's kind of a two-hander. So it starts off, there's this woman who's a reporter. She's been investigating missing children, and she kind of finds where these kids are being trafficked, and she saves a little boy. Unfortunately, that boy gets murdered when she's setting him free, and she goes missing. So her husband is now looking for her a couple months later still. And then we cut to a father and daughter. We find out that the daughter lives in China with their grandmother. And after her mother died, the dad moved to Thailand, and he's been doing handyman work, and he's a mute. And the daughter is spending the summer with him. She only has 2 days left. And she really doesn't want to leave him, but he's like, you gotta go back. And one thing leads to another. They get in a little fight. She goes out in the street, and there's a little boy who's limping, and he's like, can you help? My sister and I were like in an accident. Our parents are gone. I need help. And she goes to help him. Turns out really being set up to be kidnapped and trafficked. The father at least kind of catches up, and it becomes this crazy chase. I'm just setting the movie up here. Sorry. So essentially the dad now has to find his daughter, and he will stop at nothing. If you thought Liam Neeson was intense, man, this mute man is a billion times more intense, and we don't know his backstory or anything. And he ends up tracking down some people and joins forces with the man looking for his wife. And they just go on this epic, fucking brutal, intense, balls out thrill ride, unlike anything I've seen, man. Like fucking. And then we cut to the daughter, who is trying, because we see she's learning kung fu and stuff, or some form of karate. Like she's trying to be strong with these other kids and trying to help find a way out and save them. But of course, it's not easy. This movie is an hour and 53 minutes of pure adrenaline, pure action, just nonstop. No one's safe. Kids, adults, characters that you think will live can get killed, and very creative kills. There's some people that are frozen in fucking ice, and then later on you see them like kind of like carbonite, like in these frozen, and fucking they get brutally smashed, and chunks of them inside. These fight scenes are so mesmerizing. It's stunning. It's gorgeous. My only major flaw here is they cut back and forth between speaking Chinese and English, and it's like, I'd rather just one or the other. Maybe stick to Chinese. It's nice to hear English, but it's like, it seems a little ADR and kind of not fully, like, it's like, just speak full Chinese. I don't need that. Yeah. But
I'm already reading subtitles. Might as well just like.
Well, yeah, exactly. Right. Like, I don't know this cast, but they're great. Like the one guy that I do know, I don't even know how to say his name, but he was in The Raid. He was in The Raid 2. He was in fucking Rogue One, I think. Interesting guy. But fantastic performers. Like I said, our main character, the dad, doesn't say a single fucking word in the movie, and he emotes like a motherfucker, and it's great. Like, I don't know. This movie really lived up to my expectations. It's hard R. It's badass. And I'm going to say, Dennis, I don't know what you're up to, but we do have an invite for next Tuesday in Century City. There's 2 press screenings, one in the morning, one at night. If you're free, you should. I think this movie would be right up your alley.
Yeah, this sounds awesome. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like, that sounds intriguing. I am here for this.
Like, and it's everything. It's so mesmerizing, so beautiful, and like I saw it in a packed audience, and like the audience, and like another, like I said earlier, like watching Obsession and hearing people's reactions. The brutality in this movie and the people's reactions to this crazy shit is just so fucking amazing, man. Like, awesome. I loved every second of this. It might be one of my favorite movies this year, to be honest with you.
Shit. Awesome.
Yeah. Because sometimes, like, I see some of these foreign movies and I'm like, they have cool premises and there's cool stuff happening, but normally it's like there's a lot of talking and a lot of drama and a lot of like serious moments of like dullness, but never in this. There's moments, but they don't linger. And like,
yeah.
Some of those movies, the action seems a little off or like shitty. Not in this, man. It's just a well-oiled machine.
Or I feel like sometimes it's the opposite. Like the action's really good, but then it seems like they're stumbling through the dialogue, and I'm like,
yeah.
Oh shit! Then really cut that back. Really, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's awesome, man. It sounds like it is a good balance. It's a pretty good balance of both of those things to move the story, right?
Yeah, and it's funny. I'm like, this kind of looks like Thailand from when I was in Thailand. I'm like, they filmed it all in Thailand. I'm like, that makes sense. And like, you're seeing beautiful parts of the city, and then you're seeing kind of the lower parts of the city. And they even say like kids are being abducted in the slums and in these like poor areas. Yeah, it's really cool. I'm gonna give The Furious. I'm gonna give it 4 slices.
Well fucking done. Furious. Damn, man. Awesome. I was already
back rooms, but I'm like, this movie's so good. I want people to like hear about it and hopefully maybe see it when it hits theaters on the 12th.
That's awesome, man. Badass. Well, yeah. I'm up for some fucking badass combat, and you sold me.
Yeah. Like, if you thought the audio of the fucking trailer was cool, like intense, man, the movie is that times a million, dude. Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it for our reviews this episode, man. Hopefully, people found some good shit to watch.
Yeah, and I hope so as well. I know there's been some controversial perspectives of things as of late of some of the movies in theaters. Maybe we steered you in one direction or another. Maybe you wildly disagreed with what we had to say. How could we possibly know that, Adam?
I mean, I don't know, but maybe, just maybe, if they wanted to leave us a fucking comment on Apple Podcast or wherever we're getting this fine audio or visual, wherever you're watching or listening, I guess. Leave us a comment. Let us know what works and what doesn't work, and we'll try to fix it for you.
Exactly. If you're listening to the podcast, please head on over to Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review there. If you're watching the stream, let us know on whatever platform that is. Say it's YouTube. We appreciate your feedback that you have. We'd like some insight on what you like or don't like about the show. Maybe you have some suggestions on other topics we could cover in later episodes. But you'd have to follow us in those places. Come on around to all of them platforms. Maybe it's Facebook, X, Instagram. I don't know. Look us up on that platform of choice at movie_toast.
You know what? If you're watching this, we'll put up a QR code. You just gotta fucking hit that QR code. Give us all our fucking links, folks.
Done.
But if you're listening, just search Movie Toast News and Reviews and you'll find us. Or just on any of the social media at movie_toast. You'll probably find us that way. Yeah.
Just follow. Check us out. You'll be aware of all of the upcoming business that we got to do. Some toasty, buttery goodness that may be to come.
And we got a pretty big thing coming up soon that we're going to announce probably in the next episode or on our socials before the next episode. So
yes. Keep a close eye and give it a follow, please, on your preferred platform of choice.
But you don't want to do any of that shit. We just ask you to do one simple fucking thing for us, folks. And that is to please stay toasty.
Adam and Dennis, they're the kings of the real. Reviewing new movies, they keep it real. Coast to coast, from LA to the east. On the podcast show, they feast on the beast. Adam's bringing knowledge like he's Professor X. Dennis with cuts deeper than Wolverine's claws. I guess Marvel, DC, they know them all by heart. Breaking down the plot, tearing every scene apart. They got the juice like Tarantino's Pulp Fiction. Breaking down movies with a sharp precision. Adam coming in hot like a John Wick hit. Dennis bringing the heat like the climax of a Tarzan flick.
All right. Well, I know we got to wrap this up, but there's a couple of quick things I want to talk about. Some you may know, some you might not know, but let's see here. I don't know why I have
that one.
For $8.78, you can exclusively get a 12-ounce limited edition King of the Hill collector's can of WD-40. I don't need WD-40, but I want it. Yep. I want it 100%.
And I love King of the Hill, and I would absolutely. I saw the ad on Reddit, and it played the clip when he was in Mexico, and he uses the little can to open the big can.
Yeah, when he's with his mom. That's the only issue here. They should have that little can to go with that. That would make it perfect. But
it should be a pair. Yeah, exactly. But they don't do the capped version as often anymore. It's more that the tilt nozzle as displayed in the image if you're watching the screen.
Yes. All right. So up next, we have I don't know if you heard about this, but the past couple of days, the Russo brothers have been teasing a big South by Southwest Avengers thing happening, but it just turned out to be a Doctor Doom themed pop-up coffee shop. Coffee shop.
I will Xerox anything you want.
Would you drink some Doctor Doom coffee, Dennis? I know you're a coffee guy.
Yeah, I'm a coffee guy, but I'm always afraid of these licensed coffees because they usually
fair enough.
Got some flavor. Yeah, they put flavory bullshit on it. I don't want marshmallow chocolate chip cookie.
Oh, I want that
coffee. Well, no, if that's a syrup I'm throwing into my drink after it's made, yes. If you sprayed my coffee beans in some bullshit, it always comes out bad. It never tastes the way the fucking description of the bag says. I just want coffee first. Let me introduce the fluff and the hoo-ha. I like, for example, licensed coffee product I enjoyed. Coffee Mate got the license to Harry Potter butterbeer. The butterbeer Coffee Mate is delicious. Great.
They're butterbeering the shit out of everything. Goldfish, cookies, popcorn. There's butterbeer fucking sprinkles that you can put on your food now.
The butterbeer goldfish are fucking great too. I like
them. Are they really?
Yeah, it's like because there's a graham cracker with the
Ooh, I didn't know that. That I could get behind. I will say when I went to Epic Universe, I made sure I got some frozen butterbeer, man. I love that shit.
Always
good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, classic.
Yep. All right. Gotta power through. We got a few more things here. Through June, Papa John's hosting 4 Toy Story themed Pizza Planet pop-ups in Los Angeles, London, Madrid, Seoul. They'll include retro-style pizza arcades, prize merch, limited edition menu, and more. Dennis, I think you should find the Los Angeles one and get some Pizza Planet action.
If I can guarantee getting in, I will absolutely do some coverage for Movie Toast. That's the only part that scares me is when they usually do these things. It's like line around the block for a shitty slice of cold pizza.
We should try to get some press stuff for that.
That would be actually, yes, that would be cool.
I forgot
missed
about
out
that.
on Home Alone last Christmas. I loved you doing that, but I also saw what it looked like. I'm like, oh, you really didn't offer.
Yeah,
it was like a car and a little bit of decor, and then it's like the pizza didn't change. Like nothing changed as far as the food goes. I want to see I want a Pizza Planet box. I want to get the alien toy,
the claw, man.
There's a claw machine in there, that's.
Yeah, that would be bitching, but it might be mediocre. But hey, it could be good. Who knows? All right, this next one you could probably get into. I love. Lucas Museum of Narrative Arts has announced that their first exhibition will be Star Wars in Motion. It will open on 9/22, and you can view vehicles, props, behind-the-scenes art, and more. I feel like, how do you have a Lucas Museum and not have a Star Wars send-off?
I've already been watching. They've already been posting some great photos of some of how the install is going. They're saying the vehicles are coming in next, but
nice.
General Grievous on his mono bike is already installed. Apparently, Lucas took a photo of him standing next to it, and it looks amazing. I am so excited for this museum. It's I don't know. I'm going to check it out as soon as I possibly can. Ideally this year.
That'd be nice. It's going to be a hot ticket, but it'd be worth it. All right. Up next, I want to hear a little bit about your foray into Spider Noir, the screening you went to.
Yes. Okay. So luckily, because my wonderful wife is a member of the Producers Guild, she was invited to a screening Amazon hosted of the first 2 episodes of Spider Noir. We were fortunate enough that they actually showed us the pilot in black and white and the second episode in color. So we got a nice spread of how each one looked. That screening was followed by the showrunner and the 2 main producers of the series, and also the caretakers of the current Sony Spider-Verse as it stands. And that was wonderful. and eye-opening. It was great to hear the stories of how it was revered on set, the way they looked at it. In fact, they started shooting a whole bunch of footage before they realized like they needed to constantly adjust their set dressing, their lighting, their camera department, because they were aiming for black and white first. Color was secondary, but they weren't going to just brush that under the rug. Anyone who saw that would then get their wholly fleshed out experience. But they're saying they had to develop new technology just to be able to bounce between the two. So Video Village would have to swap live between color and black and white. And they would sometimes, they were saying there were scenes they even reshot for color because it looked so much better to do it this way in black and white. But as soon as you switch to the color version, it would look ridiculous. So they'd have to make these subtle adjustments to the lighting, the positioning of the camera, sometimes even the texture of things on the set. But it was so good. I loved the series. We just finished it a couple nights ago.
Oof. I want to talk about it so bad. I have not had time to watch it yet.
Yeah,
I can't wait to get into it to talk with you about it.
We will do that down the road, but my God, this is one of the. All I'm going to say is this is one of the best made Spider-Man things.
Yeah.
Like
now, like I said, I was afraid the trailer. I'm like, the last trailer didn't do it for me, so I'm hoping.
I think there's a tone and a flavor of this that starts to develop as the show goes on. I think will truly speak to you, and it does speak to a lot of other fans that appreciate things the way we do, I think.
Fair enough. I like that. That sounds pretty sick. Yeah. All right, now this next one, I don't know if you have any interest, but did you watch Hacks, or are you not really a Hacks house?
It's on the list. It's just one of those we haven't got to yet. I love Jean Smart. She's incredible.
Oh, dude. Fantastic in this.
Everything she does is entertaining. Drama, comedy. Yeah. She can do it all. I very much look forward to getting into this. We just haven't done it yet.
Fair enough. So I'll say, love the series, but every season kind of felt repetitive. These two characters would meet each other. They'd they depart ways and they come back together. But this final season broke the mold. Surprises left and right, twists and turns, fantastic, and one of the best finales in TV history that I've seen. So I highly suggest when you get there, checking out Hacks at some point. But the finale, fine fucking finale, man. But I'm not going to talk about that. There's a finale both of us have watched. Let's talk boys, man. How'd you feel about that finale, man?
You know what? I thought it was a pleasant way of closing a chapter on a beloved, huge, ridiculous series. Like, how the fuck do you shut this one down? That was always going to be a challenge. Again, got to see a Producers Guild screening here. This was basically all the department heads showed up for this one, and it was incredible to hear how each of them had to tackle their own landing of the plane, as they called it. It's like, all right, you've got the stick in your hands. How the fuck do you touch this down? And they all had this, like, they all understood this was going to be a big task, to the point to where even like as the show was going on, they were rewriting how the finale even played out. It was almost very different. Certain characters were about to die 2 episodes sooner than they would have had it not been for how they decided to play it out. I think they did a gorgeous job with the show. Here's another one where I don't understand the heat it's getting.
I mean,
it's a booking.
I think most people don't expect every character to have like every character got their send off in this, like little big minute characters, and I appreciate that. Each episode was like, here's the ending for them. I will say that final showdown, well, not the final showdown, but the big showdown, slightly lackluster, but it worked for restraints. I enjoyed it. The big one that got me the most was after the boy told Butcher he didn't want to be there, and then he went in the other room, and what happened in the other room, man, that got me, man.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Especially knowing what happened in real life weeks before that episode came out. I'm like, that double sucks.
So we watched the finale when it aired, or like when it and then we went to the screening, and I would sound, based on the auditory reaction, about a quarter of the audience waited to see the finale. So I'll say that part, I know exactly what you're speaking of. I choked up right all over again.
Like that was the one that meant the most to me. I'm like, sure, it wasn't a main person or anything, but I'm like, out of all the people and things to die, I'm like, fuck.
It was the one that I think any living, breathing person with a soul, you'll feel that. And then it makes sense. It's just oh, fuck. Yeah, that's kind of it, man. Like that's good. All right.
But our remaining characters, the end that they all got was beautiful. I felt I loved everyone the way and how especially it kind of bookend the beginning to the end. That was nice.
Especially for the cast themselves. I feel like I appreciated that they all had a moment on screen to send their character off. And it wasn't just like you're just getting booted off screen. You're not running off frame and that's it for you. Like it's I think they've invested so much time into giving us the show. They deserved to give us what they wanted to show us too. And I don't feel like I got cheated out of anything. I get what you mean about some of the pacing, I guess. But it's like they had so much.
It was fine.
Cram.
Yeah,
they had so much to put in, and I think they gave everyone something.
And
I
will say I did like the way Sister Sage left the show. That I was like, all right, cool.
Thumbs up, bitches.
That was surprising.
That was so good. But again, there's that wholesomeness. Like there's a beauty, there's a beautiful thing to that too. Like how she went out. Everyone. It lends itself. And I'm excited for the prequel. I'm curious how do we get into this?
I will say it's like the one hanging thread they have was Soldier Boy, and I'm like, all right, that makes sense because that will probably spin off into where we get Vought Rising.
Right. I could honestly see that series being a time jump, like seeing a little bit of what he's doing now, but mostly him. Maybe he's sitting at a bar telling his war stories to someone else, or he's captured by someone else, or Vought gets him back somehow, and it's like, wait a minute, it's like, okay, how did the OG Voughts, how did they do this back then?
Because you kind of learned a little bit about that in Gen V. Did you watch Gen V or
that I didn't? What's funny is I was actually confronted by someone who was just like, well, then how did you know who this or that character was? Like, you know what? Context. Because I was paying attention to the show, so I wasn't lost.
Like, yes, it would help if you did, but fuck that person.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I felt in that situation.
But yeah, so like, because they just canceled that show, but those characters kind of got to ride off in the sunset here, and that works.
They got to support the team, and they got to do a mission to help I like that. Like the whole speech with Starlight was great. Of like, it doesn't matter, even if you think it's small, every little bit is contributing to the overall cause, and it's I'm doing my part. All that business. I loved it. I really
like it really. I feel like I don't know how else they would have wrapped up the show. Like it just worked properly the way it should have.
Yes.
I gotta say, Kamiko's ending reminded me a lot of the Dark Knight Rises ending, but it was I like that she had the dog there with her. That was kind of beautiful. French is like, we're gonna get this dog.
I thought of like was it the second or third Bourne movie when she has the moped shop, or he's not there, but it's like she's out in the coast, like does the thing they said they were going to do together.
Yeah,
character, like it's kind of. I think it's kind of a classic trope, but I liked that spin on it. The watching her savor the Madeline and knowing she's hearing the words Frenchie said, the way he described what that is supposed to taste like, and how delicious that is supposed to be, and you could see her savoring that all over again, like savoring his words all over again. And I like the beauty in that. And there was that romance between the two of them was so beautiful and so wholesome.
Like, especially building it up so long before they actually got to that point. And
it was great. It was great.
Yeah. I really dug. Yeah. It's like, I'm going to miss the show, but I'm happy they didn't overstay their welcome. Like just enough time.
I will say they said they didn't say they wouldn't do anything with Huey and Starlight.
Sure.
They were because that was the host was just like, well, obviously you left this very blatant like hook out front. Is that something you're actually pursuing, or is it? And they're just like, we can't talk about that right now.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that speaks volumes. But you tell they're trying. But where is that?
But give it some time, some space.
Yeah, exactly. These actors just ran the gauntlet and they just did all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they're going to do with the property after this.
Yeah, I know there's going to be The Boys Mexico, but I feel like I've always wondered, is that going to be like a spinoff or is it a reboot? You hear about it so often. I got to look this up now. Spanish language spinoff of The Boys.
Spinoff. I'm done.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man.
And I think who the fuck it stars someone cool. Like, let's see, who the fuck is in it? Someone big, I think. What? IMDb
like
has been a bitch.
Diego Luna or...
That's what I was thinking. It's like someone like that, I think. Let's see. Sorry. Oh, Gail Garcia Bernal is one of them. I feel like I've heard that name a million times, but I'm like, it doesn't matter. I just want more stuff in this world.
Yeah,
sure. That's the point. Yeah,
it's so well fleshed out, and we already know what to expect as far as the humor, violence, like the extremes they're willing to go. I am on board for what you're willing to throw on that frame. So bring it
1,000%. Yeah. So that's all I got for this post that I want to talk about. But what about you? Anything you?
No, I think that's you. You already hit the notes I was looking forward to.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward. You say you're going to screenings for Disclosure Day and Toy Story soon, right?
Yes, those are the next ones coming up.
Nice.
I'm very much looking forward to both. So unfortunately, I'm not going to make the newly announced Asylum release of Alien Disclosure Day.
You son of a bitch.
I'm like, oh wow!
You just call yourself a fan.
So funny. Yeah, no, I'm very much excited for those, and those will likely be my next two reviews as long as we're out of the lockdown for those two titles. Once
the old embargoes.
Yeah.
I mean, Disclosure Day comes out next week, and I think Toy Story is the week after. So yeah, I think we're safe.
Right on time. All right, man.
Yeah. So that's gonna work. Yeah, that's all I got, man. That's a hell of an episode, I think.
Whole lot of 2.5 hours of toast, folks. I hope there's something in there for you, and we got to inspire you to check something out, or maybe you're adamant about us knowing about something else, and you can just let us know. Like we said earlier, hit us with those comments, and we'll just have to see you on the next episode.
That's right. Thank you for listening and watching.